here. Gotta move the laptop. You know what? Yeah, that'll be alright. Good evening, everybody. Alright. Let's see. There we go. That way I can see that. Alright. We're painting Blighthaulers tonight. Gotta mix up the paints a little bit. But yeah, tonight we're painting some haulers. Trying to be relatively quiet, but I gotta readjust my sleep schedule for night shift, so hence why I'm here tonight. So I hope everybody's having a good evening. But yeah, we're painting these 3 Blighthaulers here, so I guess I should probably show off where we're at. I actually need that paint. But you guys can see I've basically base coated the mouth, most of the bits here, a good chunk of the side and the back here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and continue with doing the teeth up here on the front, and then do like all the little pustules and stuff on the side, and then start doing the washes. So yeah. I painted most of this obviously off of camera, but oh, what's up, Carlos? I start night shift Wednesday, actually. So, but yeah, that way I can adjust my sleep schedule, so I gotta be up till at least midnight tonight. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start with all the tubes and stuff. And I mean about as good as you can be on duty. Yeah. That is true, man. That is true. But yeah, they told me I was gonna be on night shift, which I was fine with, and then I found out it's like I'm actually gonna be on 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I was like, okay, well, gotta go ahead and readjust my sleep schedule, because I wasn't planning on adjusting, but it's kind of a weird schedule. And so I'm really bad about keeping this on camera, so you guys know. So if I accidentally bring it off, sorry. But so right now we're doing Inky by Darkness on all the hoses. Super watered down Inky by Darkness. And that's just to get all these hoses. So I like to basically do batch painting on everything when I'm doing multiple of a model, just because that way when I come back to them, I can just kind of pick up and do the same thing on all the models, you know what I mean? So right now I'm just doing all the little hoses down in here. How you doing tonight, Carlos? Why are you on so late? Oh. Well, why are you still up then, man? I mean, it's only 10, so technically I guess you could get to sleep pretty soon and still be good, but So yeah. Right now we're just doing these hoses, and I got to be really careful, so that way I don't, even if I mess it up a little bit, I don't want to get this this dark blue too many other places that it shouldn't be. So, but luckily there's not too many places that this goes. Oh, you're on duty. Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh, so you got an appointment in the morning after working. Yeah, those are always the worst. I hate that. I don't know what y'all call it. We call it mid shift. When you're working super late. But hey, you can hang out with me for a little while until I get tired. I am tired already, actually, but it's part of the old man in me. It was between come back in here and paint some more, or go play some Dragon Quest. And I figured video games would probably put me to sleep, so I'll come paint. Do a live stream while I'm at it. So, normally I'd be a lot more talkative, but I really can't mess up the blue here. And I'll just kind of show you guys what we did once I'm done painting it. Basically, we're just getting all these hoses right here. So, I mean, you can do two colors if you want to. I actually have started to be a big fan of just doing a solid color on hoses. Because it's just one of those little details that most people, like, you'll see it and you're like, oh, cool. Before I would do, like, red and like, neon green on the hoses. But it takes a lot of work, and it doesn't really do too much. So, I started just doing solid colors. Incubi Darkness is by far my favorite hose color, though. Just a nice blue, like blue-green. And see, I messed it up a little bit, damn it. But I'll try to fix that later. Alright. I think that's it for the hoses. I mean, technically these things right here in the middle are hoses, but I'm not too worried about it. But so you guys can see, so we did the hose there, did the hose down here, hoses in the back here, and hose on the side here, and then he's done. So we'll move on to the next guy. Oh, nice. Like building them or painting them? I think maybe you did you respond to somebody today? So if I do two color hoses, it just depends. I'm a big fan of red with neon green on the like little inside bits to like make it look like stuff's flowing through it. You can also do blue on the insides, and really you could do whatever color. I've seen a lot of people do silver and make it look like the outside's like a braiding on a metal hose, you know. So I mean, there's just a lot of different ways you can do it. So, oh, nice. Yeah, those Blackstone Fortress models look really nice. But yeah, like I said, I've gotten the thing with painting is that you need to get good at minimum effort for maximum impression. I guess that's the best way to put it. So what can I do to make it look great but not take a lot of time? Hence why I've gotten to the point of just doing single colored hoses, because It's a lot easier, and usually people won't notice. So they didn't even notice when I would do the two-part. Like my photo bloat drones and stuff have the two-part hoses on them. The one that I did paint. And you could do the hazard stripe hoses if you want to. It's really up to you. But yeah, I'm a big fan of just Inky by Darkness on them. Boom, done. Well, and then you got to shade them still and highlight them. But hey, it's a lot easier, right? But we're just trying to finish base coat on these real quick. I've only got a few colors left, so. Before we get to the fun stuff. I'm not a big fan of base coating is actually my most hated part of a model. Like, you could hand me a model that's already base coated and I'll be perfectly happy. So long as the base coat makes sense, you know. But these guys are a lot of fun. I don't think I've put too much time into them overall. I think so far I'm about 5 hours in on the pair of 3, so that's not bad at all. And that was to get them up to basically almost being finished base coated. But we're going to finish this, and I'll show you guys what we have done. Yeah, Nurgle models, you can definitely get away with being a little sloppier and a little less diligent on the models. And the beauty of Nurgle models is you can clean them up really easily by just adding some rust, or like on certain parts of this guy, like my silver got away from me, so I'm just going to cover up those spots with a spot of rust. I mean, it's kind of lazy-ish, but yet again, minimum effort for maximum impact. So I'm going to rust them up anyway, so might as well just gives me a spot to start at, right? You know? And yet again, so hose, hoses, hose on the side here. Nope, just a little bit there. Boom. God damn it. Boom. Done. Wash the brush. And last hose. I actually really like the over shoulder camera here. Before I had it like up above me and kind of over, and I think this is the first paint stream I've had in a very long time. Yeah, since probably no, I did a few during COVID, so yeah, it's been a while though. Probably since March. March I think was probably like my last one, maybe April. Hey, what's up, Justin? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, Thousand Suns is really nice because you just slap on the Retributor Gold or whatever you want. I don't know. I did the Lazy Ghost rubric, so that was my way. And also, I have a really bad habit. So me, I like to buy the cheap primers. So like I like to buy Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum primer is probably my favorite, and it's like $5 at Walmart. to go buy some. But I'll always just pick up white because I know that it works really, really well. And I always like to build up from white because dropping down from black's kind of hard sometimes for me. And I find it a lot easier to darken white and fill the colors from there, you know. But yeah, no, I mean, if you want to buy the Retributor Gold, hell yeah. I've used several cans of Retributor. That's actually what I base coated most of my Chaos Space Marines with. But my Death Guard and my Thousand Suns, I started off with white. But it is definitely it's definitely a hobby hack if you do plan on doing a shiny army or having gold trim. God, trim is so terrible. The trim on these isn't that bad though. I've actually quite enjoyed painting the trim on these because it's minimal. And so we're almost done the hoses. Finish these hoses. What are you up to tonight, Justin? If he's still there. I know Carlos is at work. Government money going. Yeah, no, it's definitely a shortcut for sure. Faux show. Let's see. I think I got the hoses. Now, one thing I did regret was not washing the skin and the armor plates before continuing. I just got really into painting these. So I did get a little bit of the Incubi darkness on the skin here. So I'm just going to take some water. Dilute it before it dries and dab it off. Voila, see, fixed it, saved it. Oh, Foul Blightspawn are fantastic, but I have 2 of them already painted up over here in a box. So I have a 3rd one I need to paint eventually, but I don't. Every time I use 3 of them, I feel like 3 is way too much. So, nice! Plague Burst Crawler. Here, I'll show you mine real quick. Or one of them, I should say. This is one of my Plague Burst Crawlers. Lovingly called Snaky Guy, I guess. But yeah, here's a good example of the 2-part hoses there, Carlos, that I did. So, way too much effort to actually make those. That's why I stopped doing that. And let's see, where's the other one? Oh, here's another one for you there, Justin. I didn't think they looked demonic enough, so obviously I added a lot of blood and gore to them. But those guys have seen many a battle. All right. So, we've got the hoses done, so we're going to move on to the next thing. Well, thanks for joining me, Justin. Hopefully, inspire a little bit of your Plague Burst Crawlerness. So the next thing we're going to do is all the pustules. And so my pustules, I like to do yellow. So this is, I think, Averland Sunset. About 90% sure it's Averland. Yeah, it's Averland Sunset, so... Actually, don't I have Xandri Dust? There's a mess. Yeah, I'm gonna do that actually. It's a messy desert. It's a lot darker, so it tends to like it picks up sepia really, really well to make it look like pustules. So, and then beyond that, We're going to do some skeleton bone, and we'll be ready for washes. So, yeah, you'll have to share pictures of it, though, Justin, your PVC. I always like seeing people's stuff. Alright. For this one, I need a really small brush. Really small brush. Because what I'm going to do, so there's a lot of little teeny pustules in here. I'm going to actually hit those too. So now apologies if my head gets in the way. Alright, hold on. My paintbrush has a hanging thread real quick. Hold on. There they are. Get my hobby snips. I need to actually wash my brushes. There we go. I need to actually buy another one of these really thin brushes. Oh, nice. No, that's cool, man. Like, I just thought they weren't demonic enough, you know? If you haven't been able to tell, I love to green stuff things when I'm given an opportunity, so. But no, I look forward to seeing them. Now, yet again, like I was mentioning, the beauty of Nurgle models is you don't have to get them exactly on the pustules. Damn it, that's stupid. I didn't get the stray. There it is. Yeah, got it. Alright. Back to. There we go, much better. So I'm just kind of coming through, just lightly touching on all the pustules I can kind of get to. Oh, I missed a hose. There's a hose on the inside here that I actually missed, so I'm going to have to go through and hit that up again. Yeah. And I got my necrotic flesh on standby here because I need to come through and actually clean up certain spots. But what are you planning to run, Justin, with 9th edition? I know Carlos, if you're still out there, Carlos is gonna mess around with some World Eaters a little bit. But we're just going through, hitting up all these pustules real quick. It's kind of tedious. It's a little tedious. Because I'm also hitting all the little small ones. Let me get a... God, I really need to clean my brushes. These are getting pretty bad. Probably replace a few of them. And so there we go. We got all the pustules, I think. Oh, there's a few right here that I missed. Okay. Are you doing Rubric Marines then? I know everybody's on the PVC bandwagon right now, which is fine. PVCs are amazing, so I'm glad other people are now realizing how amazing they are, because they've always been amazing since the inception of 8th edition. Alright, so just clean that up with the necrotic flesh. And then I need to hit up that hose that I just realized I forgot. And so me, being the stubborn guy that I am, I always paint my models after assembling them. And it kind of bites me in the ass. Like right now, this hose, where it's at, is, as I get it on the armor plates. So I only got a little bit of blue on the armor plate, so yet again, I can cover that with some rust. Yeah! Are you doing Cult of Duplicity then, I assume? Because Cult of Duplicity right now is really strong. And it's definitely the thing I would advise for any Thousand Suns player that is not doing like a big stompy creature list. Alright, get a little bit of Averland Sunset. Or Zamasi Desert. That's right, we swapped. And there you go. So now we got all the little pustules in there. Let's set him off to the side. Gotcha. Then why are you doing rubrics then? Is it just a way to secure objectives? I find that really interesting to me. I was looking at running rubrics. Also, I do have my Blighthaulers Terminators too. They're one of my favorite units, but I don't know. Still heavy investment, and especially with the way until we get a FAQ with the War of the Spiders stuff. Because I want to know whether or not I can take certain relics, or how does that all work? Does it work just like Thousand Suns? Is it its own thing? But no, that's pretty cool, man. I like it. God damn it. Yeah, I need to buy a new smaller brush. This thing is getting so frayed right now. Let's see. This one doesn't look too bad. Soften it up real quick. Oh, that's right, because they the Infernal Bolter is now part of the squad. So technically they didn't really go up much. Oh, are you talking about Blighthaulers Terminators? A 5-man of those? I'm guessing then if you're doing a 5-man Blighthaulers, do they have plasma? Because I don't think you're going to get much mileage out of 5 if they're not plasma. There we go. This brush is way better. I don't know why I was struggling with that other one. So sorry, right now I'm just trying to focus on getting all these pustules. Hopefully, is the video quality pretty good? Yeah, force staves are free now, right? I don't know, rubrics are really interesting right now. It really depends because the meta, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see kind of what the meta pans out. Because everything I'm hearing right now is like factions that were strong pre all of this are now pretty weak. Orcs definitely got hammered between the points and then now no specialist attachments. I feel bad for my orc buddies. I mean, they banked real hard on that Super Shaka, so I imagine we'll see that return as a normal relic, though, in some way, shape, or form. In a new Orc Codex, or however they end up doing it. Alright, got that. And last guy. I'll do the hose here in a second. I just want to go ahead and use up this yellow before it dries, you know. Or did I get the back of the weapon? I did. Okay. And so hopefully you guys, how's the imagery there, Justin? You're gonna be my beta tester. Oh yeah, the burner bomber, the self-exploding guy. Well, the problem is though, like orcs overall got kind of hammered with the horde nerfs, and like their one gun line list with the guns. Sorry, trying to think of the name of them. You know what I mean? The tractor cannons and stuff like that. The smashy guns. There you go. With the way terrain works and everything, now you can just kind of hide from them and never get hit. So the power of that list definitely dropped a lot. And now orcs are forced to engage with you more. So I don't know. We might see like a return to commandos. I could see Storm Boys becoming a thing again. What's the name of them? Flash Gits. Flash Gits are disgusting. I could see them definitely picking up a lot. But like boy squads and stuff like that, that's a rough road. Gazcole's really good though, at 9th. So I don't know. So Tyranids right now, especially because now that I bought them, I'm kind of tracking this stuff a little bit more. They aren't the best right now, but they definitely have some viability with a like I'm thinking more like a Turvagon, honestly. I think I got all the pustules on them. Boop. Okay, here, let me see. The light in the webcam. Oh, so you're saying up in my little screen up top, it's too bright. Gotcha. Let's see. So what I need to do is like move, I think, the laptop more over this way. Here, sit there for now. Yeah, I need to like rearrange my desk with the thing. Better? A little better, maybe? Maybe a little better? I don't know. There. But yeah, back to what I was saying about Tyranids. Yeah, I think Tyranids. I think there might be some play with a Turvagon and running, giving him the 5-up invulnerable save. What is it? Can never remember the adaptive physiologies, what they're called yet, because I'm still new to Tyranids, but essentially what you would do is you just swamp objectives and contest them constantly. So what it does is it basically just forces your opponent, they can't really play on the objectives until you allow them to play on the objectives, or they kill like your Turvagon or something. I wouldn't go multiple Turvagons because you can't do the same adaptive physiology multiple times, and you can only obviously use the stratagem twice if you want to give up your Warlord trait. So that's where I'm like thinking, yeah, so I'd want to run like a Turvagon, a Hive Tyrant maybe, something like that, and just basically go for the objectives. Like that's all that list would do. Maybe do some lictors for character hunting. So if somebody leaves a character out, you know, then you can get to them with like your lictors. I just wish lictors had AP, man. The fact that a lictor does not have AP on its weapon is fucking garbage. Because I was looking at them, because I do have lictors. And back in the day, I actually really enjoyed, back in 5th edition, I'd run a lictor or two just to, like I said, pretty much gut characters or gut like a sergeant out of a squad or something like that. Because back in the day, like, they were pretty much solo hunters, you know what I mean? They would just run around and butcher characters and stuff. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, Turvagons, they're just so at this point, I've gotten all the hoses. So we've gotten everything all based up, so now I got to do the teeth and these little claws on the front. So I'm actually going to basically just do it bone white on the edges here. Now, you guys can maybe see down in there. I didn't really touch down because, yet again, I always put together the model before I paint it. But that's because I try to hide stuff like that. So I'm going to actually hide the underside here with more rust and stuff like that. That's just the way I paint. It's up to you. I mean, everybody has their own style. But it's mostly because nobody's ever going to see the underside. So like my Lord Discordants, they look great on top and on the sides and everything. But like on the very bottom carriage, because I put them on the base first, I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to cover it up, you know? Ah, gotcha. No, the Blood of Ball rules really, 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 really good. So Tyranid's got a lot of good things out of Blood of Ball. It's just we didn't really see the because people were starting to figure them out a little bit there post the holidays, and then this whole coronavirus thing happened. So I think you would have actually saw Tyranid start winning quite a few events. Nick Nanavati was actually on kind of a roll with them there. I need a bigger brush for this. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It's a brand new brush that I have not used yet. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, hanging out with me so late at night, keeping me some company. So the goal for these is to basically get them to the point where they're washed. So that way I can, tomorrow I can highlight them. So maybe I'll do another stream tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I paint a lot faster if I'm not on stream, so that's why I haven't been on stream, because I painted up both my defilers. But that was like, I need to get these done. And these guys I need to get done too. As a matter of fact, I'm trading one of my Tyranids there, Carlos. I got one of the Forge World, what are they, Demetrions or something like that. But I don't think I'll ever use it, even if he gets good rules. I don't know, because Tyranids aren't my main army, right? Chaos is. But I'm actually trading it off for 3 more of these guys. So I want to get these painted that way, and then send off that guy to get the other 3, and then yeah, I'll have my 9th edition list for now. But I'm really excited to actually put some Mephitic Blighthaulers on the table, and they'll be painted up, so we'll see. But even so, these guys will mesh really well with you know, Plague Marines or whatever I end up deciding to use. So yeah, I don't know. I looked at their stats and stuff, and I was like, this thing is terrible. But a guy really wants it, so, and he offered me 3 of these guys, so I will take it. Because it was, I was trying to find more of these, and a Great Unclean One was the other thing I was trying to find. I think I might just end up buying a Great Unclean One eventually. It's not a now purchase, but so there we go. Boom. But no, I'm glad the quality of this camera is really good. Like I said, I've been messing around a lot with it, and I'm glad I finally found an angle that works for paint streams. Got his little back spike, and then now all that's left is his little shoots of horn or whatever, bone. It's coming out of the top here. But yeah, so Mephitic Blighthaulers will be really, really good. I feel like, sorry, I was playing music in my ear, but it was actually getting on my nerves. When I'm trying to talk, I'm one of those people that has to hear myself to gather my thoughts properly. But yeah, I'm not a very good multitasker. But yeah, Mephitic Blighthaulers, like, I was happy with having 1 squad, but after the point drops and everything, I really want to test out having 2, so I'm probably going to have a couple battle reports where I might have them proxied, maybe. Depending. But, yeah, we'll have to see. But I'm really excited with my 6 Blighthauler list. And like I said, I mean, if they don't end up working out very well, then I can just run 3, and then I'll have an extra 3 for when and if they become good. But I really have a feeling that it's going to be good. So Defilers right now are incredibly strong because of the Disgustingly Resilient strat. One of my biggest issues with them has always been the fact that they die very easily. And the other strength is that they did not go up in points at all. As a matter of fact, they stayed exactly the same as what they were. So, when you value price it against other things, Defilers look a lot better than what they once were. And then now you add in Contaminated Monstrosity. Isn't that the name of it? Something like that. Whatever the name of the stratagem is. But that just kind of put them over the top. And now as Death Guard, they definitely have a place between that and having a 4-up invulnerable save. So, actually, Austin Wingfield, so he's actually running an Iron Hands Demon Engines list, or Iron Warriors, sorry, I always say Iron Hands, but Iron Warriors Demon Engines list with 3 Defilers. And his leverages 4-up invulnerable save from a Master of Possession. And so, but he's also thinking that Defilers have a place because they didn't go up in points at all. So, relative to other things, they just look, I think, a lot better. So time will tell. I mean, I will tell you, having ran them many, many times, my issues with them were they died really quickly and they were very, very inconsistent. You usually had to spend a lot of CP to actually make them reliable between Demon Forge for Chaos Space Marines and other things. So now as Death Guard, now they're not going to be as reliable as a Chaos Space Marine one. Because, you know, you can have Infernal... What is it? Cursed Earth and Infernal Power. So, but there we go. So you guys can see he's all based up now. So, my bone and stuff, you guys might actually be able to see some of the base coat, the undercoat does pop through. I'm actually fine with that as long as it's not like dark, because it actually adds a bit of contrast when I do wash my bone. So I don't mind if a little bit of the white undercoat shows up because it kind of gives it extra shading, you know what I mean? But alright, so you're good, buddy. Let me verify that there's nothing else I need to do on you. Like a couple, yeah, like this one, I got a little bit of yellow on his hose on the side here. Crap. Let me just grab a little bit, a little smidgen. I mean, you could do that. Tzeentch just doesn't do very much for Demon Engines. I think he's running them as Slaanesh, I think. Because he can do Disgustingly Resilient, or not Disgustingly Resilient, but Delightful Agonies on one. Tzeentch, though, sadly just doesn't do very much for him. Like, yeah, you can do a 6-up Feel No Pain on him, but is it worth it? Maybe not. And also then you're doing more characters, and with the way you protect characters now, that's kind of you're just asking for trouble, because as you do it, more and more characters are on the board, the harder it becomes to protect those characters. So let's see at 9. I'm actually doing 6, Peter, so and welcome, by the way. I'm actually doing 6 in a Poxmonger list. It's a variation of my Nurgle Demon Engines list that I ran for a while. So this time I've got Blighthaulers and Defilers in it. And that's... talking to some guys today, I was able to actually cobble together a version of my old Nurgle Demon Engines list. And I might actually try it out. So that one actually had Lord Discordants that were Nurgle, Venom Crawlers. I actually got to the point where I had enough points that I could either do 2 more Defilers as Death Guard, or I could do 2 Helldrakes. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm eventually going to do the battle reports again. It's just I have to get a few... My next weekend I'm actually just learning how to play 9th. And it's more a way to just kind of see if my ideas have merit. So I'm just taking my Nurgle Demon Engines next weekend, and I'll put up if you're a member of the Facebook, or if you're a member of the Discord channel, I will put up like many little written battle reports of how it did. I know I'm facing orcs for reals, for honesty. My buddy Arthur, he wants to show up and play. I know a guy is going to be there with his Imperial Guard, so I might play some Imperial Guard. I don't know. And then I'm actually picking up a friend and taking him with me because his car's in the shop. And he's bringing either Grey Knights or Tau. So might face one of those too. But it'll be nice not fighting myself. So... But no, I won't be filming those battle reports, mostly because I need to kind of focus on learning the game. So yeah, but I'll do written ones of those ones. All right, there we go. Teeth are done. But yeah, so my list. Yeah, back to what we were talking about there, Justin. Tzeentch, I don't know, man. Like, I both love and hate it. Because Tzeentch is my second favorite god next to Nurgle. 100% love Nurgle. So, but, Slaanesh is definitely the second best with demon engines. Like, the only reason Nurgle wins out is because of the Epidemus stuff. If we didn't have the Epidemus stuff, 100% Slaanesh all the way. Because Slaanesh is just brutal. Sorry, I saw somebody said something, but right now I'm trying to get these horns. But Tzeentch, I don't know. My problem is with Chaos anyway. I think we're still stuck in the I'm going to take as many characters as I can boat. And I feel like that's a recipe for disaster against a good opponent. Because I feel like the more people get used to these rules and the jank and the weird stuff that you can do with the reserves and all that stuff, I feel like character spamming is going to be a big liability. I honestly think 4 characters in a list is going to be like our normal. Like if you go above that, yeah. And then same thing, you know, now you either have to have vehicles run interference, which Plague Burst Crawlers, don't get me wrong, are fantastic at character shielding. So we do have that. But, and I mean, you got Blightlord Terminators and Plague Marines. But that's for Death Guard. But if you start getting into the other armies, you know, like, now I can't plant the Sorcerer near a 5-man Rubric squad, because if you kill 3 Rubrics, well, now you can target the character, right? So it makes those little small MSU squads more a liability. And so then I have to park multiple squads next to a character in order to make sure I don't die. So, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things to think about. Finishing up these horns. Well, they're like tubules. But that's also why, I don't know. I do have another list where it's Blightlord Terminators. I'm really a big fan of the Plague Surgeon with the reroll 1s and 2s thing. I think that's pretty fantastic on some Terminators. Like, I that is something that would be fearsome. I got a 4-up invulnerable save and a 5-up feel no pain. Oh, and I rerolled 1s and 2s, so. Oh yeah, TJ's games. Yeah, he was definitely crushing people with his variety of lists, because he didn't run the same list more than once. So, but I mean, a lot of those guys out there, they have some really cool ideas. Don's looking to run Mortarion with demon engines. TJ's more akin to more balanced style list. He's not going for a gimmick like with his demon engines. So, but and like I was saying, Austin Wingfield, he's looking at Iron Warriors demon engines. So. Oh no, I get that. It's not a fact of that. It's just you have to basically. So if I have to dedicate 2 MSUs to one character to protect him, and I've got, let's just say, 5 characters, well, there's a certain point where you hit like critical mass. Like if I have these 2 characters behind these 2 Rubric squads, I'm gonna target those and make sure I kill. That way I can target the 2 characters behind them. That's where it becomes more of an issue. I honestly. So another thought that came to my head. I think transports. People should start looking at transports a lot more. Like if you don't have rhinos or stuff like that, maybe try to pick some up. Even especially as Death Guard, right? Because you can spend 1 CP to give your rhinos feel no pain. But transports are really good with the missions, right? Because you can just shove that transport up on an objective, be like, come at me, brah, and have like a 5-man troop squad inside of there. Well, once they pop that transport, all your troops fall out of it, and now I'm holding that objective still. So becomes like, it's kind of a powerful deal. So I was actually watching a Tau battle report earlier where the guy was running, what are they, Devilfish? Yeah, Devilfish, the transports. Yeah, Hammerheads are the big tanks. But yeah, he was running a bunch of Devilfish full of Tau Warriors against Chaos Knights. And the Knight dude would just like pop the transport. The Tau Fire Warriors would fall out of it because you can't target them until they fall out. And he would just run out of guns. Like he's like, okay, cool, I like popped the transports, but now I can't deal with the Fire Warriors. And the guy kept scoring 15 points every turn. So it was really interesting. I thought I was like, huh. But like Terrax pattern assault drills, I think that those are a lot better going into this edition. Now, whether or not Forge World changes the rules on them, or I haven't actually looked at the Forge World points. So I don't know how much it costs, but we will have to see. But the whole point of this ramble is that transports, I think, have a lot more play now going into this edition. So 9 Blightlords, a Blightspawn and Land Raider. Do it. Disgusting and Resilient, that bitch. Boom. Done. And you know what? Just Noxus Blightbringer. He can just kind of follow behind and give you that 5-up invulnerable save the whole time. It's like a giant PBC at that point. You got a 5-up, your toughness. Oh, it's actually better because you have a 2 armor save. It's like a big moving Terminator. It's pretty funny. But no, I think Land Raiders as Death Guard are really, really good. Like, I'm surprised not many people are talking about them. I don't have any Land Raiders anymore, so kind of sad about that. Maybe I'll find one on like the secondhand market or something. So I believe you can put 10 Terminators in a Land Raider. I think a Land Raider you're allowed to put 10 Terminators. Certain variants though, because some of them are limited in their transport capacity. I believe like a Redeemer can only have so many. I don't know. That's a good question. It's been so long since I've looked at a Land Raider and how it works. Well, so you could always just do Death Shroud Terminators. Death Shroud Terminators are a lot cheaper than Blightlords. Bingo. See, there you go. And then you know what? Those Death Shroud will also protect that Blight spawn. And you can also, they pretty much have Thunderhammer, or, well, the one variant of the, they can have both versions of the scythes, right? One version of the scythe is basically a Thunderhammer. So you could always just do that and just run around and Thunderhammer things to death. I don't know. I got a bunch of Death Shroud now, so I've been trying to think of reasons to use Death Shroud. Just because I bought those models and Converted them up all converty. People really want me to paint those, but I don't know how I want to paint them yet. And also I don't have a list for them to go in, so I'm not going to paint them. And paint the things I'm actually going to use. Once I finish all this Death Guard stuff, so I've got a bunch of Plague Marines behind me, ready to go. And then after the Plague Marines, I've got a bunch, or I'll have, well, so I should have 3 more of these to paint. And then one of my patrons, Gregory, he said he's going to send me some more Plague Marines. So I think he said that they're just Dark Imperium Plague Marines. So I'm probably going to convert up a flail on one, and I'll see how many he sends me. Because I need another 5 for this squad to make them 20. I've acquired a bunch of Dark Imperium parts, but for some reason I ended up with a lot more, like I have like 4 or 5 plasma dudes. I have 1 spear guy, 1 flail, 2 power fists. It's like, I can't really like make a full squad here, you know? Like, I love the fact that I have the Power Fist guys because they're gorgeous models, but I'm never going to use them. I don't know, maybe MSU. I could do, like, MSU. But then at which point I would just do flails. Why would I put a Power Fist in the squads? I don't know, man. I don't know. Sorry, I tend to ramble a lot. But thank you for the compliment, Peter. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoyed the interview. There are many more to come. I mean, obviously, I've done a bunch of them anyway. It's been a thing here for a little while. I don't know how long you've been a sub, but the next one for the channel is Nick Nanavati. So I've actually got Nick Nanavati coming. And that's because he's been playing a lot of Iron Warriors lately on their channel. And TJ actually recommended that I get him on just because he knows so much about 40K. So maybe he'll have a unique perspective. So I got him. And then TJ helped me get Sam Lucidi. So Sam Lucidi was the playtester, and he's an avid Death Guard player, I guess. As a matter of fact, I have talked about his list several times here on the channel. Because he's actually placed very high in events with his Death Guard. And so, yeah, getting him on the channel too. So that'll be a lot of fun. Did I do his teeth? I don't think I did his teeth. I did not do his teeth. His teeth looked done, but they weren't done. Oh, nice. Well, if you're ever getting rid of those Plague Marines there, Carlos, let me know. I'll pick them up off you. Or if your buddy just wants the Space Marines and you don't want the Death Guard half, let me know. I will buy them. Mostly because I don't know. I'm at the point where I could use another 10 Poxwalkers. That way I can have 3 full squads. And then obviously I need a few more Plague Marines. And then I also have I have an extra Noxious Blightbringer around here somewhere. He's probably going to turn into a Tallyman, actually. Because I don't have a Tallyman, so I figured, hey, I'll convert up one. So, and there we go. Voila. All 3 of the Blighthaulers. Voila. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. I was just saying, if you ever end up getting rid of them, just let me know. Oh, okay. So let's see. You can do a 5-man death strat. Yeah, we talked about that. Went a little overboard on the 3-man set. that had the Blight launcher in it. Yeah, so I ended up I was looking at buying a few of those. They were like 15 bucks a piece. I was like, because that's like the cheapest way to get a Blight launcher. So I had looked at that before this. So, oh, yay! So you've been a subscriber for a while. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're hanging out here. Yeah, the Poxwalker boxes are stupid. Yeah, because a box of 6, even if I buy 3, it's still not a full squad, right? So it's just really, really dumb. Technically, I would have to buy, what is it? 10 boxes? 10 boxes to get the full 60? That's insane. That's only like $100. Really, that's not bad, but that's free in GW money. But yeah, drinking a little bit of water. Okay, so at this point, I did get a little bit on there. All right, so now we're gonna start doing washes. Woo, washes! And thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with me, chatting with me, keeping me awake for a while. I need to actually set up my desk a little better. A little more cohesive for this sort of thing. Alright. So let's see. I guess we'll do the armor first. Oop. Tony and Camera Shade. See, yeah, they used to sell those. They used to sell that the boxes, but now because so few people are getting rid of them, the prices of them have actually gone up quite a bit. Because I was looking at buying some not too long ago. Yeah, it's actually kind of insane how much they've went up. Nolan Oil. Where's my Seraphim Sepia? There it is, Seraphim Sepia. Sorry, I'm checking for all my washes real quick. Carbon Crimson. And that should do it. Oh, I want my dark tone. Where's it at? Red tone, flesh tone, soft tone, strong tone, dark tone. Alright, dark tone. Alright, let's see, Justin. I also think that a patrol with Ariman, a Demon Prince, and a MSU Rubric squad running with the Miracle Dice cult is going to be my new Thousand Suns Supreme Command that I put in everything now. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Having the one dice, though, I don't know, man. That's not my thing. I also think Ariman is really expensive now at 150 points. I think that you can honestly look at like an Exalted Sorcerer more often now. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you're kind of spending CP and all these resources to get things that you might not actually need. I think a lot of people are crutching real hard on, I need to have warp time. I have to have warp time in these lists. I don't think it's nearly as critical. Now, Blighthaulers, obviously, you would want to have warp time with some Blighthaulers. But beyond that, I don't know. I think we're in for a big shakeup on what people are actually going to take. But that's just me. Yeah, I agree. So much new stuff to definitely try. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of ideas out there. And I'm not I'm not a defeationist, so I just kind of argue. I argue from the point of like, well, just think of it this way. Or, but everybody has a different way of looking at the game too. Like, there's been things that I'm like, there's no way that's possibly ever going to work. And then somebody does it and I'm like, oh, I guess it does work. And then some things it's just you have to have somebody show you how it works, and it's like, oh, okay, now it makes sense how you did that, you know. All right, you can see my array. I have arrayed all my washes out here, so we're gonna do them. Got my napkin. Now, I started doing this because I have spit. That's why my Etonian Camo Shade's so freaking low. This is a brand new bottle that I actually knocked over. So, no, and that's TJ's list. He actually built it with warp time in mind. I just feel like you don't need warp time anymore. You know what I mean? Especially with the smaller board size. Like, if I were to run Magnus, obviously you'd want it, or something like that. Blightlord Terminators, but also he needed it for Blightlord Terminators too. So for Blightlord Terminators, I definitely would have a source of warp time on my list. So my armor, I always do Etonian Camo Shade over. This is Death World Forced, so this is just my preferred. And this is how I got the shade for all my armors. This was me just trying to be unique because I didn't want to do the normal Death Guard armor scheme. So I went to the store and I was like, what's the darkest green that they have? And I found this Death World Force. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to use for their armor. And I also heavily wash. So I'm a heavy washer. If you are a person that does the light washing, sorry, it might drive you nutty. So I'm just going to wash all the green armor. Voila. Just going to do his front armor plates real quick. And I am going to do around these, the small studs. Mostly because it's kind of hard to just dodge them, you know? So, I'm just going to wash over them, screw it, whatever. I mean, the Thousand Sun stuff can be win more. I just feel like we got so used to using it in every list forever that it's going to take a little while for people to adjust to not having it. You know what I mean? The point spikes do help, though, because you... So if you're budgeting in just a Demon Prince, MSU rubrics like Justin was saying, and then... Ahriman, you're already over 400 points. So, and then you're also spending 2 CP because I doubt that that's going to be your Warlord. I mean, it might be, but then you're spending CP on whatever else you're taking too. So, it's very intense on resources now. It's not just an auto take in every list like it was for so long. So, and that's also why I'm trying to, like, I'm honestly going to try to stick away from it for a little while. Because also you tend to get better at the game if you try different stuff, you know? Now the CSM players, they are definitely looking more at word bearers. They're definitely looking at having word bearers in their armies because you can do the autocast warp times and stuff. So you're definitely going to see more of that guy running around, that sorcerer. So sorry, I got to kind of focus a little bit here because even though I'm washing over the studs here, I do not want to wash over the metals with the green. So I want it to pull up in the corners of the metal but not actually on the metal. That makes sense. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it works for you, Justin. You'll have to let me know. You'll have to let me know how it works for you. Now, in a pure Thousand Suns list, 100%. Like, I'm down for... I don't know if I would run Ahriman anymore, though. Yet again, like... He's good, but is he 50 more points than an Exalted Sorcerer good? In a Thousand Suns list, I would argue probably not. because you're already going to have all the spells. I mean, he does get the +1 to cast, but I don't know. It's all on how the points work out, man. But he would definitely be something I would look at scrapping to make room for other stuff. I do agree, though, Thousand Sons Demon Princes are very good this edition. I mean, they weren't really bad last edition, but Demon Princes in general, I think, are going to be like a go-to HQ for everybody. It kind of sucks that we're all the same now, especially because, you know, the bad Chaos Demons versions are now 200 points if you take dual talents, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see, though. So, a little bit of interesting news. I have it on somewhat good authority that demons are going to be one of the first codexes that we're going to see. So, keep that in your hip pocket. I wouldn't be surprised because demons is probably the worst codex. Yeah, I would argue demons is the worst codex in all of 40k. So, but I have it on authority that we should be seeing a new demons codex probably by the end of this year. We'll see though with the COVID thing, but I'll be excited. I want some new demons. Demons are my favorite faction. I played them so heavily in 5th edition. And I guarantee you, if they buff Kairos and make him good again, I'm fucking buying. He's the first thing I'm going to buy. Because Kairos was my man in 5th edition. But we'll see. I mean, I haven't heard any whispers of what's in it. I just know that we are getting one. And supposedly it's going to be better, but anything is better than that damn atrocity of a codex. So, because that thing is pure garbage. Sorry to say, it is a pure bad codex. I mean, when I got into the game, I think it had I got into 8th edition right after that codex came out, I think. Right before, but I played heavily in 5th and 6th edition, but yeah, I came back to the game right about then, and yeah, that codex, I bought that codex. I was like, it doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, it was really bad. Once I actually learned the game, it was really, really bad. On a scale of 1 to bad, it was really, really bad. Sorry, I'm trying to finish these armor plates, and then I will look up and see what you guys are typing. We're almost done, though. We've almost got the first guy's armor washed. So this is where I said I should have just washed him first before finishing the base coats, but yeah. Got the back armor here. Boop. I gotta do his chest piece thingy, or whatever it's called. So yeah, we'll get him his first wash coat done. I'll answer y'all's question, then we'll do the next guy. So like I said, I'm a batch painter. I do not paint one model at a time. I always paint multiple models unless the only time I'll paint like one model at a time is if it's like an HQ or something. But even then, I usually have like a second model on standby. And the reason for that is when I wash it. Hey, thanks, Nick. And the reason why I do that is once I wash it, I like to grab my next model and go ahead and paint that guy. So, yeah, Nick, if you like that one, I've got a bunch more in the pipeline. And feel free to go back. I've been doing Chaos Chats now for about a year. It hasn't been quite a year. I think I started late last year doing them with Scary from Scarredcast. But yeah, I've got a bunch of them up, so feel free to go back, listen to them. I know most of the stuff's not applicable. It's more 8th edition stuff, but who knows? Might inspire you to something. I need to go talk to Manny Chima too and get him on the damn channel. That's in my bank of things I need to do. I just bug everybody. Like I said, the only person I've yet to get on the channel, and I've basically given up, is Jim Vessel. I've given up on trying to get him on the channel, so that's why you guys haven't seen him. He's a lot harder and more elusive to get. Alright, and the last few panels. I'll take a couple minute break, get some water, talk to y'all, answer questions, show you guys what he looks like right now. So the next wash is probably going to be the purple. I always do Nuln Oil, like, it'll be one of the last ones that I actually do on these guys. So I probably won't stop until I've actually washed these guys, but there you guys go. So let the green go ahead and dry up. I'll set them on top of the computer. Oh, let's see. Thank God that codex was so bad. Yes, it was. Anything on World Eaters or Emperor's Children possible codex? No. You hope as much as we do that we get one of those, because it would make fucking sense at this point. Release this new Corn Berserkers, give us a codex. Good to go, man. I'll be so happy. So, speaking of demons, when are you going to let me teach you AOS? So, with 9th edition, that's not going to be anytime soon, Carlos. The only things I like in demons right now are the Lord of Change and Nurglings. And Epidemus. If you have not tried Epidemus, try Epidemus. He is amazing. He's an amazing, amazing guy. Horrors are also really good, too. I don't know. At 8 points a model, I'm still not sold on them. But, and Bloodletters. Bloodletters are really, really good. And Demonettes are really, really, really good in this new edition. So, try some stuff out, man. Try some stuff out. As a matter of fact, Justin, I sent you the next video link. So, should be in your Patreon email. So, answer that, Nick. Death Guard is one of your favorite main armies back in 5th. Want to get back into them. Fantastic. So, are you coming back to the game from 5th edition then? Fulgrim, Fulgrim, Fulgrim. I know, they keep hinting at him. How long are we going to get hints from about Fulgrim and not actually see the damn model? We know that he's finished. Like, guarantee you that he's just, like, hanging out on some dude's computer at GW, and they're like, hey, when should we release this guy? And they're like, yeah, not today. I don't know. I imagine that we will probably see another Primarch soon. With the Silent King coming. And, I mean, I don't know how they've progressed the story. As a matter of fact, I will probably read the 9th edition book. But, yeah. Now I get it, man. Life gets in the way. And gaming definitely has to go to the side sometimes. Me, with my wife in doctorate school, I just have too much time to game right now. So, but yeah, no, I 100% get it. But yeah, I'm gonna read how the stories progressed in 9th edition. I did not read the 8th edition fluff at all. I was just like, let me learn the game and I want to play. I definitely, that's another goal, is to get more into the fluff. I know fluff has kind of gone to the wayside now with the gameplay stuff, but But yeah, I want to read how the stories progress. But yeah, with the Silent King coming back, I imagine that we're probably gonna end up seeing a return of another Primarch at some point soon. I would imagine it's gonna be Loyalist. I am actually on the side of Loyalists getting one because I think it's kind of BS that they've been stuck with just Guilliman for how long. And I get it. We haven't had a new one since basically the end of 7th edition. Isn't that when Morty didn't come out in 8th, right? He came out in 7th. I know that's when Magnus came out, but yeah, I'm behind Loyalists. They got to get their second Primarch and then give us Fulgrim. Fulgrim will be the next one. Yeah, it's all good, Carlos, man. That's how you learn. You just hang out with people who know a lot. That's how I learn things. I tell everybody I don't know everything. I just know people who know everything. Same thing. Like, I give advice and, you know, do tacticas and do all these things, but a lot of it is experience or things that I've learned. But you know, often I'll just especially now I've got a good stable of, I would call them friends at this point, but like you know, if I need advice from TJ or Austin or Mark or any of those guys, Don, I'll just reach out and ask, hey, what do you think of this, and then get their opinion. Now I will say a lot of high-end players do disagree on a lot of different things, so that's also why I ask a lot of different people, because I don't feel like one opinion, even mine, is right. So I will actually go around and ask a lot of people. But you'll be happy to know, there, Nick, my Death Guard Tactical will be the first thing that gets updated once I have gotten my feet wet with some 9th edition games. So I'm gonna definitely update that one, because I don't think we're gonna get a new Death Guard Codex soon. Honestly, I feel like the Psychic Awakening was a good holdover to allow us to. I mean, I might be surprised. Maybe we'll get one sooner rather than later, but and then that's how I try to plan my tacticas, is to bring them out in line. That way I don't have to update them very quickly. So, because they take a lot of work and a lot of time to actually put one together. So, but yeah, I'm definitely going to redo the Death Guard one. So that is in the pipeline for you guys. So I know that's been a frequent request, because I had filmed that one in 2018. It was the very first video that I filmed for this channel, as a matter of fact. Well, I think I did a Blightlord video, like painting my Blightlord Terminators or something. That was a really bad video, by the way. Do not go back and watch that video. It's still up, and it's terrible. It's really bad. I've definitely improved over the last 2 years. Oh, it's such a bad video. I should probably remove it. I'll leave it up. That's how you learn stuff. You just go back and watch your old videos, and you're like, God, that was so terrible. And now I just do live paint streams. This is how I do my painting stuff. I do modeling videos, but that's slightly different. Or long-term projects like my display board, which I should be getting back. I need to actually hit up my buddy Matthew. I gave it to him a month ago, and he still hasn't built the damn frame for it, so. Hey, Matt. He's doing it for free, but it's like he's been holding my thing hostage. And I kind of might want to go to a tournament, you know, maybe in the next couple months. So, you know, if you could please get it done, Matt. If you see this, please. Matt will actually pop in here. He doesn't play 40K at all, but he actually likes to just come see what it's all about, I guess. So. but I'm sure he's asleep. I'm actually moving to night shift. That's why I'm up late painting tonight. So. And yeah, I think it's a good goal to just get these guys. If I can get these guys base washed, that means tomorrow we'll just be highlighting them and basing them, and they will be done. And effects paints. I'm probably going to also do the hot glue idea where you do the hot glue to make like strands of drool and stuff out of the mouth. I really like that idea for these guys, so I'll probably do that too. And anything that we paint on these streams, just so you guys know, I do post on the Facebook page. I do post on our Discord channel, so that way you guys can get better looks at this stuff, because I know sometimes you guys don't get great looks at these things. And I'm not ignoring you guys. I can see that people are typing in the chat. It's just sometimes you have to actually focus on what you're doing. I try to be amusing and engaging, but at the same point, I need to make sure I don't mess up this model too badly. But yeah, we'll see, though. I can't wait for new demons and new Death Guard codex. I don't know. So in the order of codexes that I feel like need updated, demons is definitely number 1 because that codex is hot garbage. And then Chaos Space Marines is definitely number 2. Just because everything is spread out between Vigilus and Blaze, it's spread out between the codex. You got models that are in the stupid... the little Shadow Spear codex, mini codex thing, like for Venom Crawlers and stuff, I still have to carry that thing around, or the Master of Possession, you know, because that's where his spell lore is. So yeah, that needs to be updated, and then probably Thousand Suns. I think Death Guard at this point is pretty good with the stuff we got from Psychic Awakening, so even though it's an older codex with all that stuff, I think we're fine for a little while. You guys can leave us alone for a little bit. I'm done bitching. GW done redeeming themselves a little bit in the Death Guard's eyes. So but then again, so it might end up being like remember 8th edition, Death Guard was like dominant in the beginning of the edition, and then just slowly, as more and more codexes came out, we just kind of dropped. So I mean, it might be that again, all over again, but I hope not. Alright. And I'm on the last couple armor plates, and then like I said, I can take a break and talk to you guys real quick. Alright, so there you go. There's number 2. Woo! Man. Alright, so I love the bit where Shadow Sun meets the Death Guard fleet. Awesome. Torn between troops for Death Guard, boots on the ground, seems super important, but not sure Plague Marines are worth it. So Plague Marines are very, very, very good right now. Honestly, you're not bad off. I would argue you could probably do multiple different ways of doing the Plague Marines. The flails are super powerful, so you definitely want some flails. A couple in every squad if you can. It used to be Blight Launchers were the way to go. I would definitely argue like that's probably not the way to go with them anymore, unless you're gonna sit around and not do anything. But I could see like 5-man Plague Marine units and Rhinos. That could definitely be really powerful if you're going to use Contaminated Monstrosity to upgrade the Rhinos and give them Disgusting Resilient. You can definitely do like a 20-man blob just walking up the field with 3 of these dudes, giving them cover. Have a Plague Surgeon. If I were to do that myself, because you're not guaranteed to go first, and get Cloud of Flies off, so they're not targetable. I would probably do them as, I think it's Mortarian's Anvil or whatever. The one that gives them the reroll 1s and 2s for their Disgusting and Resilience. And then I would probably do a Noxious Blightbringer just to double down on that. So what that will give you is that way you can advance further because you roll 2 dice. You also get a 5-up Invulnerable save. I would definitely take that relic if I was going to do Foot Slogging Plague Marines. And yeah, you're super doubling down on this, but it becomes just this unkillable blob of dudes walking up the field. So, which was really fun. But yeah, there's several ways. I mean, you could do a Land Raider. I don't know, but hey, what up, Jennifer? Oh, Jennifer's here. Welcome. Why are you up so late? How's Rules of Engagement doing out there? So I'll wait for her to answer that. Yeah, man, that game that I had with you on the channel was like my 4th game or 5th game of 40K. That was like 2 or 3 months after you picked up the Tyranids. Yeah, that was a while ago. Now we just got to get me funds for a studio. Yeah, I mean, I'm working on it. I've got the cameras. I got the GoPro and I've got this. I do have a table now. I just got to get terrain. Terrain is the next thing, so that's why I did a call out. If anybody knows terrain, people let me know so I can pick some up. Think I'll find use for the new Tesseract Glow technical paint and things like Drool and other Death Guard stuff. It's actually really cool. I think it's pretty similar to the Hexwraith Flame. This stuff, I think it's pretty similar to that. Did that stuff dry when I was gone? Wow, I think part of it did dry. But yeah, Hexwraith Flame is really, really good. So I would imagine it's actually kind of lighter. I guess it's less concentrated. So I think it's really good for like glow effects and stuff like that. But we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it. I buy paints with a reason. I don't just buy paints to buy paints. Usually I have like a purpose behind a paint when I buy it. So Thousand Suns, they do need more models. I agree. I think that their line is definitely lacking because they're like 4 models, so it's ridiculous. So yeah, they definitely need more models. You would like to see them combine the CSM and Demons book again. I don't disagree. My problem, if they do that, then they're going to take all the cool things Demons do out of it. Because then that's more akin to, like, that was like 4th edition, right? That they were combined? And then they split them off? Or was it 3rd? But, I really, really enjoyed the 4th edition Demons book, though. I played the shit out of that in 5th edition, so I really, really, really like that book. So, but that's me. I was a big fan of the rerollable and vulnerable save Cairo stuff. I love that stuff so much. What do you think of a Poxmonger Demon Industry 3 PPCs, 3 Mephitic Blighthaulers, 20 Plague Marines Cloud of Flies with Biologics Putrefier, Valid Blightspawn, Plaguecaster as a second wave? I mean, it can do good. I don't know. I'm kind of... So the reason why I'm up in the air about that is that the way that it reads, you cannot take relics from multiple different Vectorums. So certain Vectorums, the relics are like key, like Poxmongers. So in an example like that, right, your Poxmongers has to be the detachment with your Warlord. So you're spending 3 CP to do that as a spearhead. And then I'm going to have to spend an additional 3 CP, or 2 CP if it's patrol, to take that, right? So I'm already down 5 CP, and then I have to spend relics and whatever. Plague Marines require a lot of CP to run. You're going to be spending, I think it's like 3 CP to do the 4-up and Feel No Pains. You're going to be pouring CP in the Plague Marines to let them do what they do. So if I were to do the Plague Marines, I would probably not do Poxmongers at all. It would probably end up being like Mortarian's Anvil. I think that's the one with the really good Plague Surgeon. Something like that, you know what I mean? But that's me personally. It's just Plague Marines are very, very, very CP hungry. Like, they're super CP intensive to make use of them. So if I were to do Plague Marines in a list like that, that's where I would probably do like the Rhino Rush, where I'm going to have some Rhinos with Plague Marines in them, spend a few CP to give those Rhinos Feel No Pain, and then just run them up the field, right? Maybe do like you could do it like a Noxious Blightbringer to give them like a 5-up invulnerable save initially. Actually, you could probably even milk that out to turn 2, depending on how far up those Rhinos move. But that's me. I probably wouldn't mix those two together just because of how intensive it is. And then same thing, that is a list that would want warp time. So you would be looking at maybe mixing in CSM, Thousand Suns, something like that. But the flails do the AOS thing, yes, where they spill over. So there's very few things. The Black Knights for Dark Angels, Plague Marine flails, and then Great Unclean One has a flail. But yeah, they do the same thing, the spillover thing. So thanks for the advice. Plague Marines and Rhinos sounds good. I do like Plague Marines and Rhinos. I actually ran it on a live battle report against Thousand Suns against a channel viewer, Bobby. And it did a lot better than I thought. And I was playing against Thousand Suns, and I was playing the old Death Guard. I think it has a lot more play now that it's only one CP to go ahead and spend. Okay, so if you're just going to do a single Poxmonger battalion, it becomes a little better. Same thing, though. All your CPs can be poured into those Plague Marines. So, and then you lose the 1 and 2 reroll. I mean, that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, I think overall something like that would probably play better as Blighthaulers, honestly, and then that's pretty much what TJ Landigan was running. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I would be interested to hear how that does. So, like I said, I haven't had any games with the new Death Guard. This is just kind of my thoughts initially. Yay, Jennifer! Hi, John. John's out there. No, I'm glad you guys are doing good. When are you guys? You're waiting for phase 3, right? Before you guys actually open up. So, yeah. So, we talked about that. Tips for a list with Typhus. That's a hard one right now. Definitely, you would want a Noxious Blightbringer now in a Poxwalker list. Getting to those objectives really fast is super critical now, and because Poxwalkers only move 4 inches, is it 4 or 5? I can't remember. I think it's 4. So you want to double your chances of rolling that 6 and moving 10 inches. You need to get those guys up the field. Beyond that, you're definitely going to be heavily utilizing terrain to hide those, because they are still toughness 4 guys with disgusting resilient, no save. It really sucks. It's weird that they don't allow the Noxious Blightbringer's Bell to work for them. I kind of wish that it would. And I get it that they're just cheap, but they're 7 points a piece now, so I don't know. I think that was kind of a loss. But yeah, if you're going to run Typhus, it's definitely going to be a board control style list. So, but yeah. How'd you run a super heavy list of Chaos Knights and a... How would I run? Is that what you're asking, Andrew? So how would I run a super heavy list of Chaos Knights and a patrol of Death Guard? So it depends on what you're trying to do with the Death Guard, and it depends on what you're trying to do with the Knights. If you're trying to do triple Knights, Death Guard is not what you want to run. Death Guard is now we are definitely more CP intensive. And if you're trying for more like a board control angle, I mean, you could go into Poxwalkers to hold your objectives, but they're not super good at that. Honestly, I still feel like Red Corsairs is the way to go with Chaos Knights. The way the rules work with the Red Corsairs, you still get the additional 3 CP for taking 3 units of Chaos Space Marines. So, pretty much as a wash, right? So if I do a super heavy detachment of 3 big Chaos Knights and make one of them my Warlord, I refund the 6 CP there, right? And then I take the Red Corsairs, I refund the 3 CP for taking that, and then what I do is basically it's just troops and a couple HQs, maybe like a Jump Lord or something, couple Lord Discordants. You're probably going to be over points if you do Lord Discordants, but something like that, you know what I mean? That's how I would do it. Death Guard, though, it's going to be really hard. Prior to the changes, so one list that I ran for a very, very long time that I was actually a huge fan of, I might even be able to bring that back. It was a single knight with a dual Gatling cannons, 2 Armiger Helverns. I think Helverns are still really, really good. I'm a big fan of Helverns anyway, and especially with the new knight rules with House Herpetrax and all that stuff, you just get extra rules just for taking them, which is fantastic. They also have a household that you can take that you ignore cover on everything. I'm kind of waiting to see how they rule ignoring cover, but dual Gatling cannon knight that ignores cover is actually super powerful. because you can pretty much see anything that's in a piece of terrain, right? Your knight's just standing there and looking at them, and you just mow them down. So that's actually pretty powerful. I like House Herpatrax myself, but so anyways, back to what I was saying. The old list was actually 3 PBCs, 1 Demon Prince, 3 Contemptor Dreadnoughts with dual Butcher Cannons, a single Gatling Cannon Knight, and 2 Armiger Helverins. And I loved that list. I played that for a little while in 8th edition. I just absolutely loved that list. It actually got me to the finals in a couple RTTs. Didn't win one, obviously, but I really, really, really enjoyed that list. It was a lot of fun. I like vehicles. I just like running vehicles. I don't know. I think a lot of people do, but yeah, if you're going to try like a list like that, it really depends on what you're trying to do. It's hard to give advice without more info, I guess. Only really hit turn 1. Me neither. All theory crafting. Yeah, everything's just theory at this point. Yeah, I mean, you could do a friendly patrol size game. Typhus is good. Like, Typhus by himself, he is a beast. Like, he does a lot of work, and he's actually very... The beauty of Typhus is he's pretty much sniper immune. As a matter of fact, if you've got Cloud... So, funny thing, there was one game where I was actually playing against 3 Calexis assassins, or not Calexis, Vindicare assassins, right? So those are the guys with the super sniper rifles. And so we had them all up in these buildings and stuff, and I actually went first, and I actually moved the PVCs up and Typhus behind my PVCs, and I kept Cloud of Fliesing Typhus. That way he couldn't shoot Typhus with any of his snipers in the entire field. And by the time he could finally shoot Typhus, it was like turn 3 or 4, because I had done this like 2 or 3 times in a row. And then by that time, he's like, okay, the Vindicares are going to start shooting him. Well, they would shoot and wound him. I would make my 4-up invulnerable, or, well, sorry, they ignored invulnerables. But even with the -3, you still have a 5-up, and then you have your Feel No Pain. And in 3 turns of those 3 Vindicares shooting at Typhus, he never died. Like, he was just, like, tanking everything. So, eventually, he stopped shooting Typhus because he had to shoot other things because he was losing so much stuff. But Typhus himself, he's just a really, really good buff character. You don't have to take Poxwalkers with him. It's just you lose a lot of, like, viability, I guess, because the Poxwalkers do gain a lot from him. So, I don't know. Typhus is in a weird gray zone right now. The game definitely has moved more towards holding objectives. With Poxwalkers being so slow and the nerfs to the way hordes work, especially with coherency, right? The way that you're going to have to run Poxwalkers now would basically be 2 lines of 10, kind of little skewed offset. That way it makes like triangles. So that way wherever you pull, yours within, near 2 guys. But, yeah, but they are fearless, so, and that basically makes you immune to the battle attrition thing too. So, yeah, I don't know. Poxwalkers are in an interesting area. I think that they got hurt a lot by the points increases. Now they're 140 points a squad. That's kind of that's in the area, because if I'm gonna run like 60 Poxwalkers, that's 420 points, and then I don't know how much Typhus is now. Is he like 170? So like that's 590 points already. And you haven't even gotten into stuff that can really do anything. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird area. Hopefully I answered everybody's questions. I know I just literally talked for like the last 20 minutes. And so you guys know, yes, my throat does hurt whenever I do this stuff. All right. So, let's get back to painting some guys. So Poxwalkers can do damage. Like, you really need like a tally man with them. They can do damage. Like, they definitely can. I've seen them actually kill knights. It's not easy. It's not easy, but they can do it. Usually they're used for their ability to screen characters, and for being fearless. Yeah, they're not that resilient. But the cool thing is, I believe... Oh no, Poxwalkers don't get the Vectorum traits though, except for Harbingers. Damn it. Because I was thinking like you could do the Plague Surgeon with them. So Also, if you're going to go into the Poxwalker realm, definitely look into Necrosius. Necrosius the Undying, he's one of the Forge World units. He allows you to reroll Disgusting and Resilient rolls of 1 for all your Poxwalkers. So, and the cool thing is, that's actually not the main reason you take him. You take him because he's a super sorcerer. He's got 5 wounds. Is it 6 wounds? It's 5 or 6 wounds. He's got a really, really good close combat weapon. He has a Pox pistol. And then he also casts 2 spells and denies 3 spells, which is really, really good. So, and then on top of it, he allows you to reroll this Disgusting and Resilient rolls of 1. So, as a matter of fact, he was I would actually take him over Sorcerer any day of the week. Like, if given an opportunity, which one would I take? I would take him 100% of the time, every time. He's actually really, really good. So, and his model is not too bad to find. It is a Forge World model. If you look up Nurgle Sorcerer on the Forge World site, it's a really old model. I do have him. I have him around here somewhere. But I actually went on eBay. So I was talking to TJ one night. We were talking about Poxwalkers, and actually that's what drew up my Poxwalker tournament list that I was running at the end of 8th edition there for a little while, which I actually really enjoyed that list, by the way. Another thing that takes people off guard with Poxwalkers, by the way, is to take Warp Time with them, because they are Heretic Astartes, and when people are not expecting these Poxwalkers, they go bolting up the field. It's pretty funny, so... Oh, okay. The stats of like a Chaos Primaris would be. And so funny thing with Fabius Bile, he can buff anything. A lot of people are actually talking about Plague Marines with Fabius Bile. That's actually kind of a thing that's spoken about quite a bit in the competitive circle. I don't know if you're going to see it show around, but you essentially get Toughness 7 Plague Marines, which is pretty funny. So you might be wondering, how does that work? So the way it works is you basically just take Plague Marines, which they're elites in a Fabius Bile thing. Use the Fabius Bile thing to give them +1 toughness. So then they become Toughness 6, right? And then if somebody targets them with any attack, then there's a stratagem for Fabius Bile for 1 CP, where you can give them an additional 1 toughness for that turn. So you could have Toughness 7 Plague Marines running around the field, which is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But is that better than... Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know when that would come into play, really. Most things that... I mean, I guess if people are shooting with Heavy Bolters a lot, Heavy Bolters become incredibly popular, because it's still 5s regardless from normal Bolters, so I don't know. But yeah, it's really funny, though. It's really, really, really funny. Fabius has a lot of interesting possibilities, but I don't know. I'm not sold on him. You guys will actually hear that tomorrow. So tomorrow, my review of War of the Spider will come out. It comes out at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, EST. And so you guys can hear my thoughts on all of that fun stuff tomorrow morning. But yeah, I did a full review of the thing. I think I rambled on for like an hour and a half too. So, and then I also have Engine War 1 coming out too. Film that. But yeah, so what are you guys... I know Jen's still out there, so... when are you guys able to open up, Jen? Because I still got to run that tournament for y'all. We could do a smaller one. Do like 10 people or something. Yes, you can do Strength 8 Berserkers with that as well. So, which is interesting, but I don't know if that's a little less good, I think, because Berserkers, whatever they hit anyway at Strength 6, they kill. So, you really don't need to be Strength 8 with Berserkers. To be completely honest, especially with all their upgrades with the World Eater strats and stuff, they kill anything in the game when they get there. So, thoughts on disgusting Leviathan Dread. So, prior the points changes, it was actually something I was eyeballing pretty heavily. I'm glad I did not pull the trigger on a Leviathan Dreadnought, because at 410 points for the best loadout right now, I think is a lot. That is a fifth of your list, and then you're also spending 2 CP to give it disgustingly resilient. It doesn't have the 4-up invulnerable save that our brothers over on the Imperium side have. So honestly, I'm not quite sold on it. So it is nice that yeah, I guess it's nice to know that you can do it. It's one of those things that you can do. Would you do it? I don't know, but yeah, I guess it is nice to know that you can do it. But yeah, I think prior to the points cost, Justin, 100%. But at 410 points, it's a lot, you know. I feel like 9th edition is all about controlling the field. And so whatever I spend my points on, it needs to be capable of taking over a part of the field by itself, or, you know, operate in tandem with this army pretty well. At 400 points, you know, that Leviathan is a huge investment, and if I lose it early, that's not good, you know. I know it's pretty much impossible to lose it early, but I don't know. It's a whole lot. But I also don't have one, so I can't really try it out, so. Yes, Defilers definitely have a lot of play there, Andrew. As a matter of fact, I painted up my 2. I'll bring one over here to show you guys here in a minute. Painted up my 2 this week. They definitely have a lot more play than they once did. One of their biggest weaknesses was the moving and shooting penalty. And then also dying really, really fast. So Defilers have definitely gotten a lot better. Are they premium units? I think the reason why you're seeing a lot of attention lavished on them right now is the fact that they didn't go up in points. So because they didn't go up in points, a lot of people are now looking at them because it's like, oh hey, now it's technically a budget unit at this point. So but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm actually playing with them in my list. And like I said, I'm getting 3 more of these guys to actually put in my list. And then I'm also eyeballing a Great Unclean One, because now I have 6 of these, so now I feel like a Great Unclean One might be an investment. So just so you guys know, there was a list for a while. It was called the Bell List. It was really popular. Well, not really popular. It was popular among people who it's kind of a meme list. But a Great Unclean One has a bell. So his bell can actually bring back demons, and so his big bell can actually bring back Mephitic Blighthaulers from the dead in squads. So you take them in squads of 3, and then you just run this Great Unclean One behind them, just basically ringing his little bell and bringing back your Blighthaulers. So if people don't kill the Great Unclean One, then they basically just didn't make any progress on your list, because you're just going to bring back stuff with your bell. The only negative with the Great Unclean One forever was the fact that he was actually really easy to kill. Sorry, I'm trying to yammer on while finishing this armor. He was really, really easy to kill. But I think that idea has a little bit more play between the Poxmonger stuff and the upgrades to the Exalted Great Unclean One. So I'm eyeballing one to add to my list, which I need to buy one. That's the biggest thing. I need to go buy one, but basically I'm going to have him wander behind the Poxmongered Mephitic Blighthaulers. So they'll have 4 invulnerable saves, right? And I'm going to have Epidemus in this list too, by the way. And then the Great Unclean One, I'm going to spend 1 to exalt him, and then you can actually exalt them with a 4-up Feel No Pain. So I'll have this giant Great Unclean One with a 4-up invulnerable save, because I'm going to spend the 2 CP if you decide that you want to go ahead and shoot him. So I'll have a 4-up invulnerable save with a 4-up Feel No Pain, running around behind my little haulers, bringing them back from the dead. Blah, 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 blah. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. But I need to get my other 3 haulers from that trade, and then I need to pick up a Great Unclean One. So All right. So we have washed the green. Yay! So the way that it reads right now, technically you could, but I'm telling you that it will be fact. It's not intended to be used that way because if you did it that way, technically if I spent 3 CP to exalt a demon, I could actually take all 6 abilities, and I can tell you that's not intended. So, no, the way it works is you spend 1 to pick one, or you spend 1 to double pick or double roll. So, yes. So yeah, it's at the starter phase that you would do it, but what it does is it gives you a catch-22. Do I shoot a 4-up invulnerable PBC? Do I shoot up a 4-up invulnerable Great Unclean One? Or do I shoot a 4-up invulnerable Defiler? Or do I shoot a 4-up invulnerable Mephitic Blighthaller? All of which have Disgusting Resilient. Catch 22 million, right? It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I have fun. Full opening is in phase 3, but we have another 2+ weeks. Oh, God. Hey, if you guys are allowed to have games with social distancing, then let me know, Jennifer, and we can set up a tournament. 100%. I don't mind doing like just a small 10-person RTT. I know y'all have tons of space, so you guys let me know because I don't want to get you guys in trouble. So, yeah, magnetizing is the best day ever. Hey, Nick, you just moved here. Where are you at in NC? Are you up in Raleigh? Where are you at exactly? Carlos, I've looked at trying to do Berserkers in the bio for Strength 7 with Chain Axes and Toughness 5. So Berserkers and Bile are interesting. My problem is that World Eaters just gives them so many things. You get the 4 deployment. You get the basically the Super Saiyan combo where you can generate more attacks on 5s and 6s. You get the additional AP. Like, there's a lot of things that you get out of World Eaters that you do not get anywhere else. And on top of it, you also get the aura, where it's +1 to charges and advances. So, Charlotte, I'm not 100% sure. Charlotte actually is a really big area, so I'm sure that the 40K is good down there. I will say that there is a GT that does get held out there. It's called the Crozius GT. They're sold out for the year. So look for it next year. It's run by my buddies over at Field of Fire Gaming. I can tell you, I think it's a 2-hour drive to Raleigh, but Raleigh has a lot of bigger events over at Event Horizon Games. I actually go there quite a bit. And yet again, that's ran by my buddies. Also, right next to Raleigh is Clayton. That's the little event organization there, Legion Redacted, that's ran by my buddy Jason. And I forget the other guy's name. I think he's also Jason. But they run tournaments out there at Clayton, so it's a couple hours drive, and it might seem like a lot, but I'm in Jacksonville, and I drive 2 hours to Raleigh to go to these tournaments. They're really, really good, so you usually have to leave kind of early, that way you get there in time, but yeah, it's really, really good, so. And yeah, I've answered the questions. So, he's drying. That one looks like it's dry. Are you dry? Yeah, it's dry. So yeah, he's dried. All right, let's go ahead and start washing the next wash. So I don't need the camo shade anymore. Go put that away. All right, so the next shade we're gonna do is we'll do the flesh. So we're gonna do Druchii Violet. So the reason why I'm doing Druchii Violet for all the flesh is that I want it to look like really bruised, and yeah. So you can join NC40K. It's like NC40K Wargaming Group or something like that. That's the main one, or Warhammer. I think it's NC40K Warhammer, but that's the main 40K group here in Carolina. So yeah, Defilers are an absolute. So funny thing is, my 2 Defilers that I have were pre-built, so I didn't have to deal with any of the building. Well, sorry, I did tear them apart. I said I was going to show you guys my Defilers, didn't I? I'll go grab one here in a second. But yeah, Defilers are a super old kit, so. Alright. Just did that little bit of flesh. Let me grab one real quick, because I did promise you guys that. Where's my big one? Yeah. All right. So this caveat is heavily converted. So this is Spiderbot. That's what I call him. And so obviously there's a lot of bits in here, a lot of green stuff work, some Tyranid legs in the back because I wanted to make him 8-legged, right? Because he is a spider. Um, but yeah, so this actually, so what I did to make this guy, so it's actually the chassis for a normal defiler, right? And normally, you know, his body sits up here. So what I did was I actually chopped off the body part, and if you rotate it slightly, this is actually the body part. You can kind of see it. Rotated it slightly, glued it on the back here, and then just lots of green stuff and stuff. And then in order to make it height wise, so this is my Scourge. So this is actually a Hellbrute Scourge. So what I did was I just kind of glued it on there to make him look almost like a scorpion thing. And then I made sure that this is actually about the same height of a normal defiler. So yeah. Let me grab my normal defiler. Normal-ish defiler. But you guys can see that next to the normal defiler, they're about the same size. So, but yeah. I mean, have fun with it. Like, you don't have to build it like what it says. So this guy right here, he actually came armed with the heavy flamer. So I just chopped that off, and I didn't have an extra Scourge, which, by the way, somehow I acquired 2 Scourge bits at some point. And I just went ahead and just green stuffed in some claws to say, hey, this is Scourge. Never had a problem. But I like to heavily Nurgle up my stuff, if you can't tell. So yeah. But yeah, that was just hopefully give you some. I painted those this week, so yeah. I don't leave the joints loose. I didn't leave them loose mostly because the defiler, if you do leave the joints loose, it does fall over a lot. So in 5th edition, I actually owned 3 of them. I owned 3 of like every model in 5th edition because I had too much money and time on my hands. But yeah, it'll fall over a lot if you don't glue the arms in place. So I like to glue them in place, and I honestly don't mind. It allows them to stand by themselves, and then you're not fighting with readjusting them. But it's up to you, though. Yeah, of course, man, of course. I like to share. I'm not trying to show off or nothing. I just like to show people, and hopefully you get some sort of inspiration from it. Now, not everything gets Nurgled up, obviously, especially if it's a unit that I don't exclusively use for Death Guard, or I don't exclusively use for a certain faction. I've become more of a generalist painter where I try to paint everything within a certain like I try to keep everything very like ambiguous. There you go. That's the word I was trying to find. Ambiguous. So like all my Chaos Space Marine stuff is painted in like a silvery shiny red. Because I don't want to dedicate them to a god or a legion, so that way I can be like, oh yeah, these are Iron Warriors this time or whatever. Because not everybody has a bazillion dollars to go ahead and build a different army for every faction or paint them exactly how the faction's supposed to be. But anyways, yeah, so we're painting the flesh here purple because it looks like bruised flesh, right? And it does lend itself very, very, very well to so I'm using Necrotic Flesh by Army Painter, and so it picks up the purple really, really nicely, and it's going to look like bruised flesh. Now, I was trying to avoid all the yellow nodules. I obviously can't, so I am going to paint over the yellow nodules, and then I'm going to actually come back through and hit them up with Seraphim Sepia. So Seraphim Sepia is very good at making like pustules look pustuley. And then obviously I will hit them up with some Nurgling. What is it? Nurgle's Rot. That will be my next thing. So, but yeah. No, you cannot. So warp time was ruled that you cannot use it on anything that has came in from reserves. That actually used to be a thing. You could actually deep strike in like a drop pod, and then or it was a big thing. Like you would deep strike in Zangors, and then you would actually warp time them off of it. But yeah, they nerfed that a while ago. So, but yeah, you definitely can't do that. They put a stop to those things there, Justin. Yeah. He's trying to glue them, but yep. Yeah, he's a pain to build, man. Like more power to you. The older models are a lot harder to build than the newer models. So, sad to say. I mean, I was putting together some gaunts the other day, and back in the day, I was like, oh yeah, these are pretty intuitive. Now I'm putting them together. I'm like, man, these things fit together really badly. Like, it's kind of crappy, like how they did this stuff. So, but yeah, the older kits are kind of brutal to mess with, especially considering all the new GW kits and how well they're built. So. Did Carlos said he was gone? Oh, he's gonna get some sleep. Bye, Carlos. I know I didn't say bye right away. I'm sorry. I'm a bad friend. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I know it's late here. I don't know how late it is where you guys are. Well, obviously, the couple people from North Carolina here, it's pretty late there too. So, but like I said, I'm moving to night shift, so I'm trying to adjust my sleep schedule. So, I might actually call it. We'll see how I feel after I shade the skin on all three of these guys. I mean, it's not. I don't have too much left. It's I got to do the Nuln Oil, and then it's Nuln Oil. I have Dark Tone. I have some Carolbird Crimson for the couple red bits on here, and then Seraphim Sepia for all the bone stuff. So, it's not that bad. I can tough it out. I'll show you guys the flesh here in a minute. One time. And then you throw your model. That's what you do. And then I lost a little bit on it. Boop, boop. Boop. But yeah, I don't know if the other three Mephitic Blighthaulers that I'm trading for are painted. I actually need to ask the guy that. If they're primed or what are they? Yeah. So no, I'm not actually working towards a bell list. This is actually part of my Demon Engines list. My new Demon Engines list that's more Death Guard than it was. My prior Demon Engines list was more Chaos Space Marines than Death Guard. The only Death Guard things I used was PBC. So, but there you go. There's the fleshy colors. Yeah, I think that's all the flesh on him. I don't need to wash anything else. Oh, I need to do the cuts on his face. So I did do like all the cracks and stuff. You guys can see him here in his faceplate. Basically anywhere that like you could see like little fleshy bits and stuff poking out. I did those. Not all the little cracks, but there's like 3 or 4 of them. And so just washing those with Drew Key. There we go. Boom. Yeah, so I'm actually using 6 haulers in my Demon Engine list. 3/3. I've got 3 PBCs, 2 Defilers, 1 Demon Prince, and then I have a patrol detachment of Chaos Demons, and then that's got some Nurglings in it. Sorry, I have 2 Demon Princes in it right now. And then I have the Demon detachment with a unit of 5 Nurglings and Epidemus. So that is the whole list. But I think Mephitic Blighthaulers are really good as Poxmongers myself. So, heck yeah, Jen. Use it up. But I really like Mephitic Blighthaulers as Poxmongers. Myself, I think that they have a lot more play because you can spread them out, unlike other demon engines. Other demon engines, you know, they're going to have to be kind of shackled within 7 inches of your warlord guy in order to gain the benefits. But your Blighthaulers, right, I only have to have 1 dude within 7 inches to give the whole unit the 4-up invulnerables. So, which is fantastic, right? So, if we do a size comparison of the aura of influence of these guys, so I just need to have 1 base within 7, and I believe this base is 4 inches. I don't know where my tape measure is, but I'm pretty sure the base is 4 inches, right? So this guy's within 7. Then I got 4 inches. Then I have 2 inches to my next one, another 4 inches. So that's 10 inches now, right? Then another 2 inches, then another 4 inches. That is 16 inches from this dude, basically, over. And so you can really spread these out and actually hold quite a bit of the field and get up in people's faces, you know. Make charges, whatever, because they do have a flamer. Most people don't know that. They do have a flamer. So you get them into close combat and they're not completely neutered anymore. They can still flame and do all their fun stuff. So be a lot of fun though. I don't know if it's good. It's something I'm trying. I'm hence why I'm trading for the other 3 Mephitic Blighthaulers, because I really don't want to spend $105 on models that I might not use. So I'm trading models that I know that I'm not going to use to trade for models that I might use. So you never know. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And you guys will figure that. You guys will find out. I will report back. So whether it be via text battle reps or on next week's live stream, I'll talk about it. So their new strat is okay. The biggest issue with the strat is you have to be within 7 inches of your target. So the Mephitic Blighthaulers have to literally be right on top of whatever you're targeting to get the -1. Is the Bowspurt a blast weapon? It might be. And in which case, whatever. I can shoot a melt in a freaking flamer, and you also have your Gnashing Maw too. So I didn't know the Bile Spurt was a blast weapon though. That's a really weird call. Yeah, you have the Bile Spurt, and then you have the Gnashing Maws too. Basically, he can spit up on you, and then he can bite you. But either way, they're still good at tying stuff up. And then same thing, if they kill 1, then it's no big deal. If anything, I can just tie them up to allow Defilers and stuff to get close. So, but that's just kind of the general idea. So, and if I really have to, then you can spend the CP to go ahead and Overwatch with them. If you really needed to. But I feel like they're a lot better in this edition. They were not great in 8th edition. I think mostly because of their points. I think they were definitely pointed out because they were really expensive for a long time. And then at 105, they were okay, but still not fantastic. But with there being less stuff on the table now, so with there being less stuff on the table now, there's less stuff to actually threaten these. So I think that they actually get a lot more value, especially with the 4-up invulnerable. The 4-up invulnerable changes a lot of math on a lot of units. So the 4-up invulnerable is kind of a big deal. And that's actually what changed my mind on him, was like, oh, well, I can give him a 4-up invulnerable? Okay. Bye, Jen. Thank you for showing up. Say hi to John. Well, John is obviously there, so hi, John. Alright, I think I've got the bruised flesh done. Sorry, making sure I got all the little... Oh, yeah. Hellbrutes are terrible. Man, I don't know what the hell's up with the Hellbrute. Yeah, it's and the thing is, now you have to spend CP to give the Hell, like, cool that I can give the Hellbrute Disgusting Resilient, but I gotta spend CP for that? Nah, man. Nah. That shit ain't happening. Or dry. Oh. But, yeah, no, the Hauler is definitely way better than the Hellbrute. And then also the Hellbrute doesn't have the demon keyword, so you can't use them in, like, demon engines or nothing. Yeah, Hellbrutes are not in a great spot. My patron, Greg, he sent me one, and I was like, why'd you send me a Hellbrute? He's like, because I don't have any use for it. And I was like, oh, cool. So I built it and magnetized it, and now it just sits on my shelf. It's actually sitting over there. It's primed white, so. Alright, cool. So we got the bruised flesh on this guy done. So like I said, the goal here is to basically get these guys primed up. Or get them washed up. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. All of my stuff's still theory crafting. I have yet to get a game of 9th. I just have, I don't know. I guess I've played enough games to kind of start seeing what's good and what's, I don't know. Because, so Justin, you know, you mentioned MSU, MSU Thousand Suns, or MSU rubrics, and that's something I've also thought about, because Cult of Duplicity is super powerful with the way 9th edition's missions work. You could actually probably build like a really good denial-based Thousand Suns list now, just kind of based on pinging around the board, holding objectives, you know, denying people stuff. And then you also still have all the psychic powers. It's just Thousand Suns people in general, Thousand Suns players, we just got so used to, I'm going to run all these HQs and that's all I'm going to do. And I don't think that's kind of the way forward with them, you know. I feel like it's more... I just hate that Zangors got kicked in the nuts. Because I think Zangors are really good. But yeah, they definitely got kicked in the nuts with the points changes. Real bad. Another thing gets kicked in the nuts by points changes. And it's funny too, because, you know, I just picked up Tyranids, and freaking the 2 days afterwards, we get the points changes, and I was like, God damn it, because I have tons and tons and tons of Gene Stealers, and now they're 15 points apiece, which is kind of crazy, but oh, yeah, no, that's true. That is true. It gives you that flexibility, but on the flip side, though, then you're playing into what is that secondary? The Abhor the Witch secondary, where basically you can just kill anything and you get points. That's kind of a big negative, because, you know, you can actually have quite a few armies that are completely non-psyker based. Hell, Chaos. You could even build a chaos list that has no psychers to take advantage of that, depending on like how the meta swings. But no, that is a good point. Like mental interrogation and stuff like that. Yeah, you can definitely do that. So the only one that I wouldn't take is like, what is it, the psychic ritual one? That one is because that requires you to do absolutely nothing besides try to cast that spell. So like, I don't know, man, because that'd be really hard. You'd have to get like all these squads within 6 inches of the middle of the board and then try to do it. I guess you could do it with some Terminators. I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. But I feel like Cult of Duplicity is just incredibly powerful. So, and that's kind of my thoughts on Thousand Suns going forward. Is like, I don't think Cult of Magic's all that great anymore. It was great with ITC because of the amount of damage you could do with it. But I don't know. I feel like now it's like 100% Cult of Duplicity should be your go-to. I was also a fan of it too, the MSU rubrics with it, because of that very reason. Like snagging objectives late game, or like if somebody left flank unprotected and then you're just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna drop these dudes over there, could definitely take people off guard. And they're like, wait, what? As you teleport dudes halfway across the field. It's a lot of fun. Alright. Got the bruised flesh on this guy done too. Bam, man. Making progress. Okay. So let me rinse that off. I don't know if I need Druchii Violet for anything else, but I'm going to put it off to the side. Oh, crap. I need Bealtan Green. Need Bealtan as well. I need lots and lots of washes for this. All right. Let's go ahead and do the hoses. So for hoses, I like to use Dark Tone from Army Painter, and the reason why I like to do this is it's more like oil. So it's not like a matte. Like you can do glossy if you do glossy blacks. It looks like oil, but this one just. I use it to drip on hoses and stuff all the time, and it does definitely make it look very oily. So I love it for that reason. But yeah, I'll just kind of just put a little bit of this on all the black hoses. I just kind of slather it on there, you know, because I want them to look just oily and black. And but yeah, just slap this stuff on the hoses. Move on, man. It's really, really quick and easy. You guys can see it, hopefully, right there. So. Yeah, I missed the one down here. Boop, boop, boop. And I'm not clean with it when I do it because I do want it to look messy. So. This will allow me to put this color away. So hopefully you guys are enjoying hanging out. Hopefully you guys are having fun here. My throat is killing me now because I have. So bye Nick. Thanks for hanging out, man. And hopefully I'll meet you. Hopefully I'll see you at a tournament or something. But yeah, I recorded for 3 hours today doing the videos, or was it yesterday? No, it was yesterday because today I compiled them. Doing the newest videos for the channel here, and then today I did the live stream. So night, Peter. Thanks for showing up, man. Everybody's heading off to bed. Oh no. been good though. It's been good. We've had a lot of good people here. A lot of good people. It's been great, actually. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So normally I would use Nuln Oil for my metals, but it looks like I'm going to have a little bit of this left over, so I'm going to probably start my metals with this. So maybe I'll just do like one part of them. That way I don't get different tones. Oh, you know what? I'll use this for my track, down on my wheels and tracks. So for like my wheels, for the tracks on these, I used gray. I tend to use gray quite a bit, and usually I would do Agrax Earthshade, but just to make it look kind of like muddy a little bit. But I'm just gonna use like actual base paint to actually do that. So because I've already started down this path, I need to get a little bit more of this. And I'm just going to go ahead and dump it all over the wheels here. Yeah, I don't blame people, man. I'm starting to peter out myself. The only thing that's keeping me going is the will to get this part of the model done, because I don't want to have to wait for them to dry tomorrow to continue highlighting. You know? Stubborn James. Stubborn James. It happens. Alright. I've almost got the one. Yeah, done. Yeah. You guys can see it like the wheels. So, set him off to the side. Yeah, I have to finish the wash. Yeah, Andrew's here with me. We're going to power through, Andrew, right? Yeah, I hate stopping washing. Like, it's the worst, like, when you don't finish a wash, because then it's like, oh, God, now I got to do all this. And then it's going to take forever for it to dry, and then I can't do whatever else. I'm going to try to get a... I don't have a good selection of wash brushes, sadly. Yeah, I kind of like what I was doing, because I need to control it so I don't get it anywhere that it shouldn't be. So yeah. But yeah, I gotta finish the wash, man. Gotta finish the wash. And once again, if you to be small or big. What do you mean? Like, should he be standing up taller or squatting down? Is that what you're asking? I think Justin's here with us still. But you answered, so... I don't think Justin's left. He didn't say bye. But no, if I were to... yeah, if... oh, I see what you're saying. They should have two parts, and mine are sitting kind of high. Really, it's a personal preference. Yeah, it's really a personal preference, up to you. Like, legally, you're building the model how it should be. Yeah, Justin's here too. Woo! I knew you were out there, Justin. You're painting. That's why. That's why. You're busy. It's good though. It's good to be busy. It's good to be busy. Oh, I go through a lot of wash. Because I heavily wash everything I do, so I am not a light washer at all. But I absolutely love how it turns out. Washing is my favorite part of a model. So while base coating is my most hated, washing is my favorite because this is where it pulls out the character of whatever you're doing, you know? It's like breathing life into it. Is that the one I washed? That's the one I washed. Okay. Just trying to keep on top of them. But yeah, washing is my favorite part. I could wash models all day long and be perfectly content. Yeah, the Defiler had a base. I agree. Looking at Arnemon 1, Goonhammer says plus 4 points in the disc, and Spiky Bit says see, Arimon. He's 170 on a disc. So 100 plus 4 points. But we're also gonna have the things officially tomorrow, or sorry, next Saturday. So I can get you the actual points values for reals and not off of a spreadsheet. Next week. Yeah. But then again, everybody's going to have them, so. But yeah, he's 170 now. Yeah, I agree, Andrew. Washing is definitely the best part. I don't know, I like the effects paints part too. When you start putting on like typhus corrosion and all that, I like that too. So close. Probably do the Blighthaulers next. And I got a whole other 3 of these that I might have to paint. So, yeah, I'll probably end up painting them anyway, because depending on if the guy painted them that I'm trading them from. Smidgen more. Boop. That should be enough. That should be enough. Alright. Cool. The black on the tires and stuff is done. So I'm done with dark tone. Yeah. Woo! Alright. Yeah, I think everybody's waiting to actually get the books. You know what I mean? Alright, so next we're going to do Blighthaulers Green. And this is for the mouth. The inside of the mouth there. So and so I like this because it's a lot brighter of a green, and it's really good for like slime effect or like areas that you want to be really bright, but you still want to give them a good wash. Yeah, we'll use this brush. And so I use this a lot. I use this on my Tyranid that I actually painted. I've only painted one Tyranid. It was to get the my color down on them. But it worked really well, but so you guys can see down in his mouth there. But there you go. It's really easy. And it's fantastic. It looks great. But yeah, I'll have all the points and everything next week. I already went and paid for all the books today from my local game store. Because I wanted to make sure I got one of the first copies. So I just hope he gets them. Hope he gets them earlier in the day on Saturday. That way I can have them when I go to my game that I have. But if not, I'll have them for my next games of 9th. All right. Boom. That part's, well, I need that for, so the little lens on the gun here is green too, so I'm going to need it for that, but. Okay. Let's do the big part. So, Nuln Oil. Yeah. So, this is going to be used for a vast majority of this. So bear with me because this is going to take a little bit. Because this is going to be used inside of the tires here. So I always like to, when I start doing this stuff, I'll start from the bottom up for the big washes. And the reason why I do it that way is that way anything that drips down just kind of adds to down here. And it depends on the model. Like some models I'll start on the top, but most models I do start on the bottom and work my way up. See, trying to. Sorry if I get quiet here. It's whenever I'm really focused on something, I start getting really silent. So I want to make sure I don't get this really on the actual armor itself. If I get a little bit, that's fine, but I need to really like make sure I don't get it. And so it always bears repeating. I will be posting pictures of these guys. Where once we finish for the night, I will post pictures of where we got to, so you guys can look at them if you want to. Let's see. That was way too much black. Like, I like a heavy wash, but that was really ridiculous. Trying to get it from pulling in there. Oh crap, I need the Etonian camo shade again. Just realized I missed a little bit of the flesh around the eye here. And oh man, this is turning out really, really nice though. Like, he's turning out fucking cool. Might be a bit of work, but it's worth it. In the end, it's worth it. Crap. Trying to clean up the black off of that. Bio being chased by an abundant. That's funny. Tau Psychic Awakening. Yeah, Tau is just latent psychers. They just don't know it yet. They just don't know it yet. Sorry, this part is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But this is also the biggest part of the wash. So after this, it's like just a few little nitnoid things, you know. Back here. Yeah, I'm gonna actually come over here and do the other spikes real quick. Should probably finish the front of them before I move on to the back, huh? Y'all are having a good conversation about that. It's funny. I'll show you guys where we're at here in a few minutes. Whew. actually have to stand up and stretch after this part. Oh man, oh man. Sorry, I think I'm getting to the end of my rope, guys. It's just trying to power through. Also, this is a lot more tedious than I thought it was going to be. But then again, it's been because the defilers, when I did them, it was just kind of you washed all over. This I have to be like very diligent with where I'm actually washing. So you know what? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and instead of doing this for each one at a time, I think I'm just going to finish this guy because there's not much else. That way I can call it done, you know, or call it finished for the night, and then let him dry. I don't know. I honestly don't mind highlighting. Highlighting's not bad to me. Cause that's mostly like touch-ups, you know. And I do need to. I need to wash the little studs on him. Crap. Ah! Got green stuff on my brush somehow. Had a little chunk of green stuff down here. Got stuck to my thing. All right. Oh. Ah, crap. Ow. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I forgot to get some tubes down in here. Yeah, my hand like cramped up or something. That's why I went all like claw. Okay. And so I need this brush. We need to actually do all these little Will anybody ever know that I didn't do this? Probably not, but I'll know. So now if you use Agrax to do this, it's actually really good for like doing streaking and stuff like that. I just do black though. Just hit all the rivets with black. Ah, crap. It's a bit too much on there. Voila. You guys can see he's yeah, he's getting there. Slowly. So yeah, we'll go ahead and I think we'll go ahead and finish this one before we move on to the next one. Alright, so because I've already washed the gun, I can go ahead and get that green little dot. Well, yeah. Favorite rule change of 9th. I'm actually a big fan of not everything having Overwatch. I think a lot of people actually really like that. Oh, no, it's not that. I need purple. No, I'm a huge fan of the fact that not everybody has Overwatch now. It definitely makes people have to think about stuff. Now, Overwatch is still kind of a thing. But it's no longer that automatic, like, oh crap, I gotta now, I gotta charge this crazy ass unit, and then if they overwatch and then you miss or you fail your charge, then they get to overwatch you again. Like, the fact that you only get the one is awesome, I really like that change. So that's my favorite change. What's yours one? What's all y'all's? What are y'all's favorite change of the edition? Alright, so while they tell me their favorite change of the edition, we're going to do the Seraphim Sepia step. So I use Seraphim Sepia for anything that's bone or teeth or anything like that. So in this case, it's supposed to be his like little knobby arms here. And I'm going to clean it up a lot with when I actually do like the effects paints, like the Nurgle's Rot, and all that stuff. So I'm going to clean up a lot of stuff. I usually cover mistakes with effects paints if I can. I'm a lazy painter. So there's his face. Let's see, we got to do these horns on the back here. unit coherency and lookout sir are good. Yeah. That's funny, Justin. I like that one. No, the +1 CP a turn is really cool. I like that mechanic a lot. It does. It definitely it definitely feels good for those armies that traditionally wouldn't have a lot of CP, you know. And then even if you want to go all in, at least you have something. It's no longer like this all or none sort of deal, you know. I also feel it's more rewarding for building your list because you definitely have to measure these things a lot better, you know. Before it was all about taking junk troops and junk detachments to fuel whatever your jank was, but now it's like I actually have to build things in the list with a purpose because nothing's really junk anymore, right? So that's a good one. I like that one too. So yeah, I agree. The unit coherency is actually a lot of people were kind of mad about it, but I think it's a good change because it was weird to have units just kind of strung all over the field, you know. It was just a really weird mechanic, if that makes sense. Alright, so now I'm just going through with Seraphim Sepia. I'm hitting up anywhere that was Pustule from earlier. Now it's not going to stand out as much as it would normally because I did wash over stuff with the purple. I said I didn't want to, but I did it anyway. Mostly because it was really hard to and difficult to actually avoid them. But, and the last step is the red. Let me do that real quick and I'll show you guys the first finished, or the first washed one, I guess. And so the Karaberg Crimson is just for the little bits that I, other than the missiles I actually washed with black for that bit on the Meltagun and the eyeball. That is true. That is true, Justin. All right. So, there's our first finished or washed Blighthaulers. It's not finished because there's still quite a bit to do. Still got a lot of work on the armor to do. You know, highlighting the skin. Yeah. Sorry, I gotta get it to focus on this guy, but there you guys go. Hell yeah. Now let's go ahead. Man. Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna stand up real quick. Oh, stretch out. Get some water. I didn't plan to be on this long, but now we're all now we're into it, right? So now you can't just call it quits at this point. Let me go ahead and do the Druchii Violet around the eye real quick. Actually, let me do this on both of these guys. Now that I remembered that I had to do this. Ah. Yeah, I think that part of the train is a little weird. fact that, yeah, I'm stepping outside of this. You can't see me. Now I'm going to step inside of it, and now I can see you, sort of thing. Like, that's definitely going to lend a lot of power to stuff like Fire and Fade. Not going to lie about that one. I think Fire and Fade Dark Reapers might be a thing again. But at least it's no longer untargetable, you know what I mean? So... Alright. So, I'm going to go ahead and do the Carroburg Crimson part of both of these guys real quick. Just so that way it's done. It gets the colors out from in front of me. That way it doesn't feel overwhelming. Because at this point I'm getting really tired. So I don't want to feel overwhelmed. I'm trying to power through, man. We are so close. There's those. Yeah, same thing. Like, my buddies, they've kind of opened their game store a little bit. It's definitely still a very minimalized though. Like, they have like 2 or 3 tables that you're allowed to use, and you have to make sure that you let them know beforehand, so they can set them aside. But yeah, it's definitely we're definitely not open, just like everybody else, you know. And Jennifer, who was here earlier, her and her husband own a game store around this area too. So that's why I was asking them when they were gonna reopen. They're kind of far away. They're a little over an hour away, but I would definitely make the trip up there though to visit, play some games. Their patrons are not on the competitive side though, but the store owner there is though. John, he's all about competitive 40K, so he's trying to spin it up there. So as a matter of fact, right before this COVID thing happened, I was actually supposed to hold a event there because I'm actually the local TO here too. And yeah, I called it off the day before the event because that was right before stuff started getting really, real bad. And I was like, I don't want to be responsible for somebody because they do have a lot of older patrons there. So I didn't want to be responsible for somebody coming down with it, and I would have felt horrible. So... But yeah, we're definitely not open, so. Yeah, I mean, they're not as poxmarked as you would think that they should be. Or pockmarked, I should say. Alright. Getting her done, man. Any moment now I'm going to get my second wind. Because I've been chugging away at models, man. So hard lately. But just like everybody else, you know, while we got this downtime, we're where you can't play games, this is your chance to get these models ready to go. That way when we can play games, you're not stuck fucking painting models and not at the game store, you know? But we shall see, man. We shall see how the Blighthaulers work. I will report back to you guys. Let you know if it was a bad idea or a good idea. Oh, man. Really wish I wasn't getting tired, man. Oh. Slowly getting there, man. This one I'm actually starting on the back of them first and working my way forward. So that's where like most of the areas are. Oh. That's funny. Cheerleading, yeah! That's what I needed. Y'all got my back, woo! Yeah, I just don't normally stay up this late and trying to redo your sleep schedule, you know? Yeah. Because per my schedule, I would be getting off work right now, so. I mean, I'm the boss at work, so we'll see. We'll probably end up staying till like midnight, but still, gotta drive home and stuff, so gotta make sure that I'm up for it. But being in the military, you know, I've had to adjust my damn schedule so many times, so it's not that I'm not used to it. It's just been many years since I've had to do it, so just gotta tough it out, right? But I'm trying to get this guy done, man. The more tired I get, the sloppier I start getting too. Better than being unemployed. That is true. That is very true. There are a lot of people out there that are definitely hurting. Definitely hurting. Let's see here. Oh, ooh, that was a good pop in my back, man. That was a good pop in my back. Alright. Let me verify that I did not miss any of the metal bits. Now I have to do all the rivets real quick. So let's do that. Yeah, we do have a pretty big one actually. My area, so I'm in the Air Force, and my area is a Marine area. And Carlos, that was on earlier, he's a Marine here. And so yeah, we actually have quite a few 40K players that are military members. I don't know, when I was so my last, not this last station, but the station before that was Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I was actually one of the few. I think I was the only Air Force 40K player at the shop, and there's a really big Air Force base there. So, and Albuquerque is actually a really big city too. So, which was quite surprising. Now that I know, but 40K has definitely grown. So I'm sure if I were to go back and play there, there's probably a lot more people now that play. But 40K is also kind of an expensive game, and Albuquerque is not exactly the richest area, so. Alright. Let's see. Maybe you should join the military. You can, man. I don't know how the Canadian military is, but I will tell you, the military, it's a good living. Like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely a good living. And you definitely get a lot of skills and learn a lot of things that you definitely don't learn on the outside. But it is a rough living, though, at times. You are a salaried employee, so just imagine how your work on the outside would treat a salaried employee, and then imagine that's how your whole life is lived. So I've worked my fair share of 20-plus hour days. So, I mean, luckily I'm in a location and a job now where that doesn't happen. But I've definitely done it, though. More than a few times. I know Justin said something earlier. What's your favorite Death Guard unit? Oh, man. Plague Burst Crawler, duh. Nah, besides the Plague Burst Crawler, which is a super obvious one because I loved it before all of this, and it did not get a super points increase, so it's still just as great as it was before. I'm a huge fan of the Foul Blight spawn. Not only was he great in 8th edition, now in 9th edition with the way the fight phase works, he's incredibly powerful. Just the ability to shut off your opponent's charge phase is just it's a huge deal. Like, because you get to pick first, so it's basically like you charged. It's so good, you know. Um, now only having a 7-inch aura, it is kind of hard to utilize. But once you get good at using it, it's super clutch. And you can have stuff like, Blightlord Terminator swing before Seraphim and just completely destroy them, or Wolfen. I mean, the Wolfen will still get swing anyway, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Salary is always a scam. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. That's their way of getting away with paying you less than what you're actually worth. But at the same point, you are guaranteed that pay. On the outside, usually salaried jobs come with bonuses too. In the military, it does not. Not even once in my career have I gotten a bonus. Which makes me super sad. Because the bonuses are usually pretty good. Alright. We are almost done number 2. Which leaves number 3. Yeah, like I'm super trying to power through these, man. You guys weren't here, man. I'd probably would have called it quits. Packed up, went and laid down. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. You guys give me the power, the courage, the strength. Get to the chopper. Alright. Did I actually hit those? I guess I did. Alright. Number 2 done. Bam. What up, Neil? What up, Neil? Whew. Alright. On to the 3rd one. Almost done, guys. You're joining us late, Neil. I've been doing this for I don't know how long. How long have I been doing this for? Crap. 3 hours. Holy shit. Alright. I've been doing this for 3 hours. So we are on the last guy now. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know. The Judicar, he's really good. Like, he's really, really good. I don't know how prevalent he's going to be, though, in the meta, honestly. Because the shutting down the fight phase thing, it is limited, you know what I mean? It's not like the Blight Spawn where it's an aura and it hits everybody. So, we'll have to wait and see, you know? We'll have to wait and see. Still a really good model, though. And it's a way better, way better Master of Executions. So, but we'll have to wait and see, though. I imagine I don't know. Because he doesn't really support anything, and Marines are all about support characters, you know? And he doesn't have the mobility of a Smash Captain, so there's that. Damage-wise, he does a lot more damage than a lot of things, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. What I'm excited to see is if we get a change to the Master of Execution after seeing his damn rules, though. Because he's way better than Master of Executions. In every way, shape, and form. Alright. Need a bigger brush. Hoo-yah! Alright, guys. We're on the last one. Power through this guy. And that way. And then I will take photos and put them up on the Facebook. Or on the Discord tonight. Probably the Facebook tomorrow. So it'll be a little slow to be up on the Facebook, but at least it'll be up on the Discord tonight. You guys will be able to see it. Oh. Yeah, no. So the way that it works is that Emperor's Children basically trade off back and forth. So you say you charge me, right, with 3 units. You'll fight with one, then one of the Emperor's Children units will fight. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. However, Emperor's Children is really powerful, right? Because who gets to fight first as the defender? So let's just assume nobody charged at all. All your Emperor's Children units get to fight first, which is stupid powerful. And a combination that you can actually do with Emperor's Children, which a lot of people, it can actually take you off guard the first time it happens to you, because you're like, wait, what? How does that work? So with things like Harlequins, things like Eldar, Slaanesh Demons, Emperor's Children. So when your fight phase comes around, right? So if you ever have read the interruption stratagem, it just says that you get to interrupt and fight, but you can't do it before. I can't remember the exact wording, but if you read through it, you actually can use it right after having selected a unit. So why I'm saying this, so like your Emperor's Children, right? So you'll fight with a unit of Emperor's Children, and then you can actually spend 2 CP to fight with a second unit. So basically you get to interrupt their fight twice. I actually had this happen to me at a tournament where the dude had like a bunch of Warp Talons and some Terminators and stuff, and he did it to me. I was like, is that how that works? And we read through it, and I was like, sure as shit, man. I did not know you could do that. So I was super impressed because I did not know that was a thing. And yeah, it takes you off guard the first time that it happens to you. But it can only happen with armies that fight as though they charged all the time. So that's why I mentioned the armies that I did. But yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb powerful in the right hands and the right situations, you know. It's not something I would build around, but it's definitely a strategy that you can employ. So in that game, the guy did it to interrupt, and he was really trying to finish off a unit of my Terminators, but didn't quite get there. Ah, man. Sorry. don't know if you guys heard that, but like my sternum popped. No, it doesn't interact differently, other than the fact that yeah, it doesn't interact any differently. Yeah. Simple, simple, simple answer. I'm sorry, man. I'm getting really, really tired. So, if I'm over explaining stuff and over talking, that's probably a good reason why. Or if I'm misunderstanding you, I'm sorry. But like I said, you guys are the ones that are keeping me in the fight. Can't drop out, right? You can do it. But these are turning out really nice. They're turning out, they're gonna look really good on the table, you know? But I'm not quite looking forward to painting another 3 of these guys, because they're kind of detailed, you know? Sorry. But we are getting there. So close. So close I can smell it. Alright, we got that. Get the spikes on his back here. Yeah, almost there, man. Almost there. Alright, got those, got those, got those. Got the tubes down there. Alright, got the bands. Did the front. Did the teeth. Gotta do this. So I gotta do the missile launcher. Gotta hit this band on top too. Let me do all the mills here. Oh man. Let me get a smaller brush. Yeah, that'll work. Do it across the face here. Go ahead and do the little rims over here. Rims over here. Oh, I completely missed like half the gun. Neil, did I buy into Indominus? I did not buy into Indominus, actually. So I was kind of interested in getting Necrons a little bit, a tiny bit. Um, but I think a lot of people are going to be playing Necrons. And I have been looking into getting a second army. So instead, I actually decided to go ahead and pick up some Tyranids. So I picked up a Tyranid lot instead, and started that army. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'll actually show you guys the only Tyranid that I painted once we're done here. But yeah, I'm not buying into Indominus, you know. Yeah, I spent my money on those Tyranids, and then I had a little bit of extra, so I actually went and picked up some other things. So, but yeah, we're not getting the Indominus box. It's a really good box, though. It's a really good deal. So, and if you play either of those armies, you know, it's a fantastic set. Or if you're interested in playing either of those armies. So, it's definitely a once in a lifetime, you know. I never thought I would see GW give out that much stuff for that cheap, you know. Cheap being a relative word, but you know what I mean. But yeah, it's a fabulous deal. So I am looking forward to killing new robots, though. My buddy Zach, he's been on the channel before with his Necrons, and he's picked up a lot of them, I guess. He's picked up like 2 or 3 halves, so, and they're actually already getting painted. I saw a few of them at the store today, so. Trader Guard, yeah. I think that there's some very heavy indications that we're going to be getting a Trader Guard Codex soon. Between the fact that all the Forge World points disappeared for everything that's Trader Guard, and because that was an actual army for a while, that's kind of a big indicator right there. So we'll see. And then also on top of it, all the Blackstone Fortress releases. That I think that lends a lot of credence to us getting a Trader Guard release. Me myself, I'm more interested in a Dark Mechanicum release. I really wish we would get a Dark Mechanicus, because they would look badass, I think. But I also don't think we need any more factions added to the game right now. Honestly, there's a lot of factions. And then also, if there's another Chaos faction, then I have to go buy them. So I don't actually have any sponsors for the channel besides my wonderful patrons that you guys can see on the side. Justin being one of them. But yeah, I don't actually have any like stores or anything sponsoring me, so when new stuff comes out, it's literally I like take my patron money and then what money I have saved, and then I go buy the new stuff, you know. If it's something that I can actually use here on the channel. I was gonna go buy the new Fabius Bio, but I was at the store and they didn't have them, so I picked up Biologist Putrefier. So that happened because I never had one. So yeah, I'll just pick one up. Why not? That way we got one. But yeah, I definitely think we'll see a Trader Guard release. Whether it's soon or not, I don't know. But I imagine that we'll see like an announcement and then probably a little while after that. So, and I know a few of the guys will be really happy. Jake, he's the guy that did my theme song for the channel. he's a huge, like, he loves Trader Guard. Like, that's his jam. So if they did that, he would probably lose his mind. Most likely, he would lose his mind. But here's to hoping. I hope you guys out there who do like Trader Guard, I hope you guys get what you want. I just prefer Dark Mechanicum just because they look really cool. So Fabius just doesn't give me this. I mean, he'll give you tingles in some way. Just give him a chance. I don't know if they'll be good or bad tingles. I'd imagine what he does to you does not feel good. But yeah, I mean, the Fabius model is just basically a remodel of the old one. So I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a big fan of like the Emperor's Children aesthetic. Now, if they made the new Noise Marines, like the heavy metal Noise Marine that they made, okay, I would 100% buy like 20 squads of that. Just saying. Or if they gave me options, just saying, I would 100% do that. Because I love that Noise Marine model. I never bought it just because, you know, I have no reason to buy it, and it was like $30 for a single dude. But yeah, I love that model. All right. I think we've done it, guys. Yeah, they do, Neil. Trader Guard was it was a Forge World faction. But yeah, you could do basilisks and all the things that Guard run. You could run them as Chaos versions. But you didn't get any of the cool stuff that Guard gets. That's why you never saw them ran. So, as a matter of fact, it's quite crappy, indeed. Oh my God, guys, we made it. We made it. Almost 4 hours of streaming, and we have made it to the promised land. And so I promised that I would show you guys the finished products of the fruits of our labor. So. I'm just kind of scooching some stuff out of the way. Put these up. Oh, I got to show you guys my Tyranid too. But that's my Tyranid right there. Yeah, my pink and blue Tyranid. That's what I painted them. But all right, Neil, thanks for stopping in, man. But there we go, man. We got our 3 Gribblies. Oh my God. We're to the point that they are washed and ready for highlights and all the rest of the fun stuff that I gotta do. Oh, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Obviously, Justin, you're already a patron, and you, Andrew, you're obviously already a subscriber, so I'm not going to go through the normal spiel. But definitely thanks you guys so much for hanging out with me, keeping me in this. I'm going to get pictures posted up of these before I go to bed. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out, and see you guys later. Good night.